Hi, this is Ross Payton. The actual play you're about to listen to uses Labyrinth Signal, a new action horror RPG I wrote. It focuses on modern-day dungeon crawling and survival horror. The beta rules and the scenario are available now on the RPPR Patreon. It's a 32-page long PDF and contains everything you need to run this adventure or make up your own. It has monsters, items, and a new D20-based combat system that adds strategy to battles without slowing them down. Characters build up a combo meter and then use the meter to unleash special attacks and moves. It's not a huge game, but it has, I think, some interesting depth about it. I'll be talking about it in a future episode of RPPR. If you get a chance to read the rules or play Labyrinth Signal, please let me know. Feedback is highly appreciated. I'll be working on this game for a while now. I don't know when exactly I'll be releasing it to the public or publishing it. I just want to get the rules right first. So this is the first of many playtests that will be on RPPR Actual Play, so stay tuned. And if you're an RPG podcaster or blogger and you're going to Gen Con this year, please let me know. I'm looking to run some demos of Labyrinth Signal at Gen Con, or I'd be happy to do interviews. So just let me know. But anyways, enjoy this episode. Hey, it's Russ Payton with Role Playing Public Radio. This is RPPR Actual Play. This is the, I don't know what number of playtest this is for Labyrinth Signal, but this will be the first recorded playtest of Labyrinth Signal for RPPR Actual Play. What is Labyrinth Signal? It is a modern-day survival horror role-playing game I have written, and I'm hopefully people will enjoy it. It is a game of survival horror, modern-day dungeon crawling. The dungeon doesn't exist to hold loot; it exists to reveal a story, and the story is, well, pretty horrific. And so we have 3 players here tonight for the scenario. They'll be included in the playtest draft of Labyrinth Signal that I'm releasing to the RPPR Patreon this month. It is called Peak Nightmares, and we have 3 excellent players here tonight to see what's going on at this abandoned theme park that you're all going to. What could go wrong? So first off, my friend and co-host of Ludo Narrative Dissonance, James Wallis. How are you doing, James?
Hello, good evening.
And please tell us about your character.
My character's name is Thomas Pynchon. No, not that guy. It's spelt with an I. Honestly, I get this all the time. Who is this guy? I tried reading one of his books. I couldn't get... Anyway, I'm a landscape gardener, and I have a big truck, and it's full of landscape gardening stuff, but I'm leaving that at home, because why would you take that to an abandoned theme park? I'm in my 20s, kind of... I have qualification in landscape gardening. I'm very good at it. My sole piece of useful equipment is a laser tape measure, one of those low-powered lasers that you use to measure the distances of things.
Well, you also all have a cell phone. I'll give you all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that is listed in the common items in there about what it can and can't do. And yeah, so next up we have V from Queen's Court Games. How are you doing, V?
Hi, guys. I am great. How are you doing, Ross?
I'm very excited that I get to... I've run this game in multiple iterations over the last 2 years until it's changed quite a bit. In fact, Greg was in a playtest of what this game became. The Vaporwave game has now become Labyrinth Signal. So, but I think I finally cracked the code, so I'm very excited.
I'm excited, too. So
yeah, before we get into your character, anything new going on at Queen's Court Games?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, by the time this comes out, we might have already teased, but if not, this may be the first big little thing. Not exactly in the Tans universe, but like not in the Tans universe. We actually do have I believe it's 8 parts. It might be 10. I'm so sorry if it's 10 and not 8. Hunter, the Reckoning campaign. The podcast that's just about to start. It's called The Road to Hell. It is run by Aubrey, and we have an amazing cast and crew, and they have come up with such a phenomenal thing that I'm so excited to have everybody experience alongside us. So that's what we've got in the works, alongside, of course, season 3 of the All Night Society, which is always going to be, the thing that I'm most excited about, but that's still in the works. So, here we are.
And we'll have a link to Queen Court's game in the show notes. And of course, we'll also have a link to Ludo Narrative Dissonance in the show notes, and any other links that James and Greg's want. But yeah, tell us about your character, V.
Absolutely. I am playing Hazel Ryan. She's a 20-something bartender who serves up a little bit more than just drinks. She is, she's no stranger to the more illicit proclivities of some folks in the city. And that's okay. She's just a bartender, so she has to make her money somehow. And in addition to her cell phone, she always has a knife on her for personal reasons, for safety reasons, because obviously.
Obviously.
Okay,
yeah.
so is this one of those zombie knives, or is this just like a little 4-inch dive knife, or what are we talking?
Switchblade, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, my thought was always kind of like a switchblade, something that could like hurt pretty badly, but like wouldn't be weird for her to be like she's not going to be walking around with a Bowie knife, right? Like, as much as I want to say like, yes, Hazel is 100% the type of person who's got a knife as big as her forearm, it doesn't really work out that well.
I'm trying to remember if switchblades are legal I don't know if they're legal in Colorado.
Greg,
Well,
I have a really important question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that Hazel, with her activities as I have described them, gives a shit? Just one single shit?
Probably not. I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, and finally, we have Greg Solzy. How you doing?
Colorado law permits you to openly carry any legal knife, which includes switchblades. However, carrying concealed non-hunting fishing knives with a blade longer than 3.5 inches is a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Ooh.
Well, see, there you go.
Enjoy your Class 1 misdemeanor, lady. Yeah. I'll be playing Brent Martindale, who, let's make him like 40.
Okay.
He is an airport luggage equipment technician, so sometimes he is hauling suitcases and packages. Sometimes he is running the machines that haul suitcases and packages. Sometimes he is repairing the machines that haul suitcases and packages. And in addition to his cell phone, he's got a multi-tool.
Mm-hmm. All right. Very good. So the reason why you're all at Peak Adventures, an abandoned theme park outside of Denver that's built on, not quite on a mountain, but on top of I'll just call it a hill. And there's a parking lot at the base of this hill with a gondola that goes up to the actual theme park. But it's been closed down for years. And all of you know of it. And why are you all here at night? Because for the last week or so, all of you have had reoccurring nightmares of being chased by a monster. And these nightmares are so vivid and terrifying that sleep is all but impossible. None of you have been able to sleep hardly at all, and you are all desperate to end them. But today, each of you has received a text message from someone named who said, and the text message reads, "I know you're having nightmares every night. So am I. You also knew someone who died at the Fox Brooks massacre. So did I. My name is Elizabeth Kent, and I found a way to stop the nightmares, but you have to help me. It's the only way. Meet me at the parking lot for Peak Adventures, that abandoned theme park outside of town, after dark." And you were all desperate enough that you showed up. And there is a car in the parking lot, and there is another car that has crashed into the pylons used by the gondola, as you can see on the map. And yeah. And so you probably have some questions about what this is and what's going on. I will say the Fox Brooks massacre has made all the news recently because Foxbrook was a gated community right outside of Denver, and a cult called the Church of the Chronicler was operating in Foxbrooks. And nobody knows the exact details. I don't know how closely your characters read the news, but apparently the headlines say a cult massacre. Over 100 people dead or missing at Foxbrooks. Only some pieces of some people were found. It looks like there was explosives used. No witnesses or survivors. The leader and all of the members are believed to be dead. Some people, there's just not enough parts for some people to identify them. Very little has been publicly revealed about the cult, and the nightmares shortly began after the massacre made the news. Now, each of you knows a person here that was at Foxbrook, and so each of you can roll a d6 to find out who you knew.
Oh, we don't get to pick?
Oh, you don't always get to pick everyone you know in life. Yes.
2.
I got 4.
Okay.
Also 4.
Reroll that because it's a different person for each of you.
3.
3. All right. 2, 3, 4. All right. So who rolled 2?
Me.
All right. So Hazel, you knew, better note here, Maggie Kinnan. She loaned you a substantial amount of money for an emergency. You've been paying it back, but not fast enough for her. She told you she needed the money back soon to tithe to the Church of the Chronicler. which you hadn't heard of. And yeah, so she was very upset with you. Why do you want to specify why she had to loan you money? I mean, given your profession.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you make money and sometimes you lose money, and sometimes you have to lose a lot of money if you want to save your life in the form of losing money figuratively in the form of product and stuff. But unfortunately, I need product to actually be able to make more money. So I had to borrow some money so I could, get more product to sell. So it's been a little slow going to pay her back, because I also still need to turn that money into more money, right?
Well, why did I have to borrow money? Because Vladislav couldn't be cool for just 2 weeks. That's why.
Look, there's a reason I didn't name names, okay? Like, fucking snitches get stitches, all right, Craig?
Let's see. James, I believe you rolled 3.
I did.
All right, you knew Chris Moss. He was also he was a coworker, and he was a bully, and you had to deal with him at work. You stood up to him and embarrassed him, and he left you alone after that. But apparently, he was also a member of this cult. But yeah,
cultish type.
Yeah, well, maybe he wasn't. Well, you actually don't know for sure. Apparently, there were non-cult members who were killed at the massacre as well. So maybe he was just working at Foxbrook and got caught up in it. You don't know the details, but what you do know is that he is dead, and yeah, you do not have a good relationship with him.
No.
And then
I sort of feel sorry for him, but,
That's terrible in theory.
Yes, very good. Yeah.
And then finally,
we'll see if this is as bad as what I was planning to do to myself.
So Brent, you knew Rosemary Stone. You're both volunteers for a charitable organization and worked on a project together. The project failed because of her mistakes, but she blamed you for it. And it got very personal. So also someone you did not care for. So the details you can figure out yourself, but yeah, it was, you all knew that they were at Foxbrooks, and perhaps the police have contacted you, or you just knew that they lived at Foxbrooks and they've just kind of disappeared. And in terms of knowing who Elizabeth Kent is, and you all have phones, you can make a difficulty 14 intelligence check. Or if you actually, let's see here, Hazel, you have a relevant background. Bartender who serves more than just drinks probably might know who Elizabeth is. If you want to tap that background, you could just say you know her.
Yeah, that works too. I'm happy to do that. I did make a really great roll, so
okay. Well, then just keep the roll.
Awesome time to waste a roll. But
no, you can keep the roll.
17.
Okay.
Okay, so if you make it, Elizabeth Kent is a local journalist with a reputation for breaking stories no one else can. You also know that she was working on a big story, but disappeared shortly after the massacre. So, yeah, and then Peak Adventures, you all know it's an abandoned theme park that sits on top of the hill with a scenic overlook of the region. It is loosely themed after historic gold mining with a cartoony prospector named Pickman as their mascot. It failed years ago, with some rides demolished or sold for parts, while the rest of the park was left to rot. So that's what all you know. You're in the parking lot. It is night. Some lights are on from the nearby highway, but you can see that a car is driven into the pylon up ahead. And you could, of course, you don't know each other yet, so you might want to talk to each other first.
Yeah, you guys would see Mitch climb out of an F-150, a pretty battered old F-150. It's got one of those toolboxes in the back. He rummages around in there, pulls out a flashlight, turns it on, and it is just the feeblest little glow, and he's like smacking it, and he's like, oh man. And he starts messing around with it and fooling with the batteries before just chucking it back in the box and, looking disgusted.
Really quick, you said Mitch. Is your name not Brent?
Oh, why did I say Mitch? It's a good question. Yeah, Brent.
Well, he hasn't been getting much sleep lately. You've all been.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, yeah, you introduce each other, at least your first names.
Yeah. What's up?
Immediately I'm wary because I wasn't expecting other people to be here. I mean, Elizabeth, sure, because she messaged, but I don't know who these two people are. And my gut tells me that it's real fishy. So I'm gonna keep my distance for now, and I'll just kind of like give a little like up nod and just say, "Hey,
To Elizabeth?
No, Hazel."
Do you know if Elizabeth's here? But you know Elizabeth.
Well, I got a text from her.
Yeah, me too. Thomas, by the way. I have
Thomas.
a mountain bike.
Is okay. So if we all got messages from Elizabeth, I'm gonna kind of like glance over at the two of them, and I just say, "Is it safe to assume that we all got the same text message?"
To meet her here because we knew someone at the cult massacre.
And having dreams.
Oh,
Maybe
shit.
Maybe that's a bit early. It's sorry. I've not been sleeping. I'm kind of all over the place.
No. I mean, you got the look. You too, Hazel, no offense, but I think all of us got a little bag under the eye thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I accept that an investigative reporter has sources of information, but I didn't tell anyone I was having bad dreams. How's she know this?
No. I told people I wasn't sleeping. You're the first people I've mentioned anything about dreams to.
So, Ross, do we get to make up these dreams, or are we going to find out what they are?
They are all, they're all of you being chased by a monster. And let's see, yours is a predatory beast with rending claws and let's see, a piercing howl. So let's see here. And let's see here. Thomas, you're being chased. You have nightmares of being chased by a long-limbed figure that silently creeps and squeezes through small gaps in the walls to get at you. And let's see, Hazel, yours is a creature as fast as the darkness. They're all humanoid and they're all indistinct and you all get the sense they are absolutely intent on killing you or making you suffer, really. I think that's the more important thing. They want to make you suffer more than anything else. Death is almost incidental. So, yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's neat.
Great.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not concerning at all.
So, yeah, but you're in the parking lot as, again, you can see that there's a break in the fence where someone drove their car through and struck one of the pylons up ahead. But also, this place has been abandoned. The turnstile is easy to squeeze through as well. And, yeah.
I will text back Elizabeth saying, "Yo, where you at?"
There's no reply.
I just want to, looking through the turnstile at the crashed car, there's no sign that it's crashed recently. No, the headlights aren't on.
Oh, no,
there's
it is.
The interior light or...
Oh, it does look recent. The door is open and the headlights are still on.
Oh, shit.
So you're going to point that out?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Brent kind of squints and is like, "What fuckery is this?" All right. He probably squeezes uncomfortably through the turnstile.
Okay. I mean, there's also the gap in the fence you could just walk around to, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. How bad does that look if a car tore all that up?
I mean, yeah, it's a little longer way, and it's the brown area is the base of the hill. It's a little rougher than the overgrown grass of the park.
I want a flat. I want to stumble around on a flat location, not a rocky one.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not keen on getting tetanus tonight, so I will go through the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. All of you go.
Tetanus ain't that bad.
Yeah.
I've twisted my ankle too many times on rough terrain that I couldn't see properly. I'm going through the turnstile.
Okay. So you get to the car. As you can see, this is sort of the base. These pylons are used by the gondola to go up, but the wrecked car, it looks like The windshield is shattered. It drove right into the pylon. The driver's side door is open. There's grocery bags in the back seat, and yeah, who gets there first? Who has the highest speed? I guess
My speed is 1.
Okay.
We all arrive at about the same. We probably are like primate trooping. We stop like 10 steps away, and then all look at each other, and then scuttle a little closer.
Okay. So you can see the food is in the back. Wait, one of you had a flashlight, right? Or probably I don't remember if any of you specifically said you had a flashlight. Or you do it on your cell phone.
Oh no, Brent's didn't work.
Yeah, okay,
I explained that I
right.
had a shit flashlight.
If I've got a modern phone, it has a torch in it.
Yeah, that's true. It does have a light on it. So you all can see, aside from groceries in the back, there is a handgun on the floorboards of the front passenger seat.
Is the motor running?
No.
Okay.
The keys are still in the
inside?
ignition. There is a bit of blood, like on the wheel. Like somebody, drove into it and their head smacked into. Actually, no, the airbag would have gone off. Yeah, the airbag definitely went off. So
it smells like gunpowder.
Yeah.
I'll just scoop up that little handgun.
As you do that, all of you can hear coming from the gift shop nearby the sound of something smashing against wood and glass, and it is it sounds like somebody trying to break through a wall or a door or something like that.
Just gonna check this gun and see if it's loaded.
It is. It is a small 9mm handgun, and if you want to look at the stats for it on the playtest doc, pistol does 1d6 damage and has the semi-automatic rule, gain 1 CD before attacking, which you can spend immediately, but it also has a reload on a miss. So if you miss, it runs out of ammo. So it has a plot appropriate amount of ammo. So
Check the. All right. Well, I probably would not think to check the glove compartment for more ammo if there's something going on immediately.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but all of you, it is coming around from the back of this gift shop. Again, this area is more dark. You're further away from the lights of the highway.
Although, shit, I would open the glove compartment to see if there's a registry with a name on it.
Okay, you're rooting around in there. I'll give that to you in a second. Hazel and Thomas, what are you two doing?
I am going to call Elizabeth's cell phone because my thought is that perhaps if this is her car, she would have lost her phone in the accident, and maybe it's still here, which could explain why she hasn't responded to any other texts.
You do not hear a phone ring or buzz in the car.
Okay.
So it is her phone is not in hearing shot. Okay. Yeah. Thomas, what about you?
I'm looking over towards the gift shop, pointing my phone flashlight at it, which is a futile attempt, but what else am I going to do? Just trying to. I'm not going anywhere near the gift shop, but trying to work out if that's a bad thing in there or what.
By looking at sort of studying, you can't see anything coming from the front of it. You can definitely tell that the sound is coming from the back. So you'd have to walk around the side or go in to see what's happening. But yeah, this place looks rough. It has been abandoned for years. Windows are broken. There's some graffiti on it. Yeah, it's seen better days. But yeah, you can tell it's definitely, if you walk around to where that white car is, you can definitely see the back without being too close to it.
Is that an abandoned white car?
Yeah, that white car has been abandoned for a while.
Oh,
Okay. I'm glad we all had the same thought at the same time.
Yeah.
Pristine white SUV back there? What?
Yeah. Okay.
It's Diddy! Everybody run!
I will walk around not far from the car, but keeping well clear of the building itself.
All right.
Either somebody is stuck in there or somebody's doing a bad thing in there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to ascertain what's going on.
All right, so as Thomas is walking back to see what the source of the sound is, who is checking? You, let's see here. Brent, you were checking the glove box. Yeah, you find an insurance card, auto insurance card for a Millicent. I did not think of a last name. Millicent Smith for now. So, yeah.
Smith. This ain't even Elizabeth's car, people. I'm gonna look at. What about the groceries in the back?
Those are new. They looks like they're purchased recently. They the brands and everything all look up to date. So yeah, this is something.
Anything good?
Today. All right, so you're rummaging around the groceries.
I'm just looking. Looking.
It's stuff that would be like it's the kind of stuff that you don't need a stove to cook with, or you don't need stuff that you don't need to refrigerate, or if you need heat, it's like basic, instant noodles, cans of soup, but also like crackers, cookies, granola bars, things that are good regardless.
So no big bottle of liquor. Okay.
No, all pretty practical stuff, but like stuff you would use if you didn't have, a stove or a refrigerator. So Hazel, what about you?
I guess I'm going to start heading back towards the gift shop to see what's going on.
All right.
Yeah.
You can follow up to Thomas and see what he's seen. So Thomas, you're the first to see it. So there is a figure, a dark figure, trying to break into the back door of the gift shop. The figure's wearing all black clothing, or no, it's made of, it looks to be made like cut from shadow, like and it turns to you, and you can see a somewhat familiar face. You see Chris's face, but he looks dead. Like part of his cheek is torn off. You can see part of his skull from his missing cheek, but he's shrouded in this unnatural darkness, and he turns to you.
Okay.
And yeah.
If this figure starts moving towards me, I'm going to move back towards the others.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether I recognize Chris or not. And frankly, I was trying to keep a distance, and Is there a moon? Is there a reasonable amount of light?
Yeah, there's some moonlight. You can see can see him. Yeah. It's not total darkness. Yeah.
Okay, because this phone flashlight is rubbish.
Yeah.
So move back towards I'm not running. I'm moving. I'm probably walking backwards. In fact, keeping my eyes on him as I go. Is he making any noise? Saying anything?
Yeah, he hisses, "Tom, I see you. Oh, what a surprise! Come here."
I'm not coming there.
Oh, that's okay. I'll come to you. And starts walking towards you.
I am retreating swiftly now towards the other, going, guys, I'm not sure there's someone here.
So Hazel, you see this figure, and he is, more. It worked. You all came. The keeper will be proud. Will be happy. Please come with me. We have so much to do.
I used to know this guy. He's an asshole. I heard he died in the cult thing.
Yes.
Okay, no, I don't think we're going to be going anywhere, actually. And I'm going to just
Brent.
slowly
Brent?
grab my knife.
Yeah. At this point, the figure rounds the corner. You hear the commotion, Brent. Yeah. And so you see this figure, and there's something clearly wrong with him, and it's really hard for your mind to process what he is. It doesn't look real to you, but yet it is very real. So, but it's approaching the three of you, and
I will get out of the car and sort of casually get out of the car in such a way that the engine block and the pillar is between me and Weird Boy.
All right. He at this point, the figure kind of stops and sees the three of you and smiles and well, what are you here for? Why don't you just give up? Just surrender. This will be so much easier if you just surrender to us.
Maybe you can tell us who us is. Did you send us them texts? Did you catfish us? You pretend to be what's her name?
At this, who else is here? Well, look behind you, and you turn and you can see a skeletal abomination just sort of gliding along the ground, just like moving, almost like sped up footage in a movie, but like it's very real. And Hazel, you recognize the face of the skeletal abomination.
No.
It is Maggie, and Maggie just looks at you and holds up her skeletal clawed hands and says, "You owe me so much more now." And yeah, so one's blocking, and she's blocking the way back to the parking lot. So they're going to charge in. So at this point, so if you want to go before you can choose to go after the entities. If you do that, you gain a seed. Let's see here. You gain an additional seed. But if you want to go first, you have to make a roll. So yeah, if you look at the initiative rules, each player can choose to go after the enemy and gain 1 CD immediately. If you want to go first, you need to beat a DR12 speed check to go first and start the battle with 0. A character who fails the check starts with 0 CD as well.
That's a 14.
All right, so you get to go before they do?
Yes, I think I'm going to...
Well, let's find out what the others... So, Hazel, do you want to hold back or do you want to go first?
I think I'll hold for now.
Okay.
I think the shock of seeing Maggie's face is enough to keep me for a second.
Right. Well, then you gain 1 CD immediately, so you can use the little check mark thing on the character sheet to keep track, or just use a D6. Just move it around. In the physical version, you can just put a die on it and move it back and forth. But then, let's see here. Thomas, do you want to try and go first?
I'm very acutely aware I don't have a weapon. Not that I'm terribly good with weapons, but I have nothing at all with which to defend myself. So I'm looking around for something that I can use.
I would say there are rocks on the ground. They count as an improvised weapon, which if you look at the common items, they do a D6 damage, but you have to spend 1 CD for it to not break or lose it after you do that. So
okay, I'm not sure about a rock, but a piece of wood or a piece of scrap timber or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some scrap timber. Yeah, so that counts as an improvised
rusted
weapon.
Hunk of metal. That's going to keep you safe.
And its special ability is to spend 1 CD to have the weapon not break after attacking. So now, do you want to go first? Did you want to go first or not?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you're holding back, so you can do that on your action. So first off, we have Thomas. You rolled, and you get to go first.
Brent,
sorry, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pop the skeletal thing.
All right.
Or attempt to do so.
Mm-hmm. So you get 1 CD at the start of your turn.
All right.
Then,
nice. If you click on it, it gets a check mark. And I rolled a 15 plus my... It would be speed to shoot, right?
Yes. You're right.
All right,
and
that's a 16.
The difficulty is usually a 12. So, yeah, you definitely hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
That's a D6.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 2.
Okay. Let's see here. Yes. And which one were you shooting at? Were you shooting at
the skeleton
Chris or
one?
Maggie? That's Maggie. All right, so...
Maggie looks less like a person to me.
Yep, you do not meet the damage, the threshold to kill Maggie. So you inflict vulnerable 1 onto her. So all additional attacks from now on do 1d6. So or do plus 1 damage. So
okay,
and so they both get to go. So let's see here. Chris will definitely go after Thomas, and that will be a d6 of damage, unless you wanted to try to defend. Which dodging would be speed. Now, let's say, you could start with the piece of timber, the wooden plank as your improvised weapon, so you could try to parry with that. That would be using strength to parry it. So, because you will be taking, they don't have to roll to attack. That's 6 damage if he hits you.
Yikes.
So, James, you can choose to use Cheat Fate to just negate that attack, because I'm sure that would that drop you to 0?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, so you could use Cheat Fate to just have the attack miraculously miss, or you could attempt to defend against it as your action, which would be either parrying with strength or dodging with speed. That's a 12.
I think at this point I will cheat fate, because I'm still not entirely believing that this is happening. I'm still thinking I'm hallucinating or something. So I'll take a cheat fate on that one.
All right. So you mark off 1 usage of that. Chris goes forward, lurches at you, but... You step back and you stumble a bit, and that lucky stumble causes Chris to mistime his shot. And so claws of inky darkness, flick by your head, but they miss. And then Maggie is obviously going to target Hazel.
Yeah.
So this is going to inflict 4 damage on you. Is that enough to drop you?
No, it is not.
So you could choose to take the hit, or you could try to defend. You could parry or dodge. Yeah.
But that would be my action.
It would be your action, yeah. Now, also keep in mind on your character sheet, you can every time you survive an attack, you gain 1 CD after the attack is resolved. So, and that includes having to use cheat fate. So, James, you gained 1 CD for that, and yeah, you would gain 1 CD as well. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I guess I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. She claws at you with her bony fingers and bony claws, really. And it hurts quite a bit. The blood is very real. This is very real. And but you're still alive. So, yeah. Let's see. Now we go back. Thomas, you can act now.
Okay.
Thomas or Brent?
Thomas, because Brent, you already acted. You shot Meg. We're still in round 1. Yeah.
Okay.
But they chose to go after the monster.
Yeah. Thomas turns to Chris and goes, Chris, the last time I saw you, I said that if next time I saw you, I would fuck you up. It's good to see you. And go at him with the improvised weapon.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a DR 12 strength check to bash his head in.
Okay, I've got strength 1, and I've rolled a 7.
That misses. Yeah,
that misses. Okay,
so you gain another CD.
Does he try and dodge? Do his reflex? I mean, if this is a dead guy, is he reacting like a live guy, or what can I tell?
Oh no, he is not. In fact, but the thing is, in your panic, you kind of swing and just swing wide.
Oh yeah. I'm not. I'm all bravado at this point.
So you gain for missing an attack, you gain a CD.
Okay.
And you gain 1 at the beginning of your action, so you should be up to 3.
3 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So then I think the only person left is Hazel.
Yeah, so I don't super appreciate this bitch coming at me. And also what the fuck, she looks way, way, way monstrous. But realizing that this is definitely real and not a nightmare, I'm immediately going to swing at her with my knife.
Okay. A DR12 string check.
Okay.
And also keep in mind you can exhaust an attribute to succeed automatically, aside from using combo dice. Because this, yeah.
Do I have to decide that I'm going to use my combat action before I roll, or can I do it after I roll?
Before.
Okay. All right. Well, then, unfortunately, I do not hit.
All right. So you gain a CD for missing, and you also gain 1 for starting your turn. So, and also for being attacked. So you're also at 3 CD. So yeah.
Well, 4 because I missed, right?
Yes, 4. Yeah, because you missed. Yeah.
All right, so let me see if I'm following this. Okay, so now we roll around and start over.
Mm-hmm.
With me.
Yeah.
And I had 1 because I began a turn in combat, and I had another 1 because a semi-automatic gun gives me 1.
Mm-hmm. Before you attack, yeah.
So now as I begin a turn in combat, I've got 1 more, so I've got 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to get in the car. Can I get in the car and then take a shot at somebody?
Yeah, they're not really blocking the car. There's not really in your way. Yeah. The driver's side seat's kind of, you can get the passenger side seat, the airbag. Well, no, the airbag's deflated. So yeah, you can get in the either side. So yeah, what side are you getting into?
I was next to the engine, so I'll get in the driver's side, and I don't know if the windows are probably up. Yeah, but the windshield is smashed out, you said, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I can shoot out the window at the guy who's after James.
Chris, yeah.
So because I'm going to shoot a gun, I get another check. So now I'm up at I'm at 3 pips.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to try something? Oh, there's no actions at 3 pips. That's brutal.
I wanted to make sure you couldn't. Yeah.
Yep. No,
you
I
could
get
take
it.
a 2 and a 1, for example. Yeah. You can stack up actions. So yeah.
No, I'm just going to shoot. My dice have been.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to say that. But it's 19 with speed. That's a 20.
Okay. And you're shooting the different one, the other one.
I'm shooting the other one.
Okay. Yeah. Roll damage.
That is a 3.
All right. It does not. The bullet goes in, but he just doesn't even flinch at it. He does gain vulnerable 1 though. So yeah, it'll take more than that to take them down. So let's see here. Chris does not appreciate being shot and is going to try. So now you're in the car, Brent. And I assume you've closed the door, so you have a solid. Okay, so Chris is going to try and break the window open. He doesn't appreciate it. He pushes past Thomas. He's like, wait, let me just show you what you deserve, Thomas. Let me take care of this guy. He's interrupting our conversation. And he goes to smash the window, and he'll need like a 5 to fully break it in one hit. A 5 or 6. No, with a 2. So he smashes into it, and it doesn't work. But it does, yeah. He is outside the door now, so you are kind of trapped in there. And if you shoot through the window, that definitely will break it, so he could return the favor on his turn next time. So yeah, he is that. Then Maggie, on the other hand, is still very focused on you, Hazel. So she does not like you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And that is only going to be 2 damage, but is that going to be enough to drop you?
Yeah, so I was actually thinking of defending this time around, and I was going to use my combo actions for this.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm at 4. So I was thinking of doing 1 tough it out for defense, so reduce an attack's damage by 1d6. 1 for counterattack, and then take my last 2 in the 2 pip for power for more damage, so increase the damage of my next attack by 1d6.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So that you don't have to roll, you just have to roll the d6. It reduces the damage automatically. There's no d20 roll for that. So let's see how much.
Perfect. Reduces it by 3.
All right, so you don't. Yeah, you just roll a little bit and roll with the attack, and it doesn't. It just rips your clothes a bit this time. And you can make a DR12. Yeah, you can make an attack roll.
That is an 18.
All right, so now you get to roll 2d6 for your damage.
That is 5.
5, and Maggie already has 1, so that would be 6. That is not enough to drop her, but she does gain another vulnerable. So
she's only rolling 2. All right.
Yeah. But she lashes out at you. You duck to the side, stab her in the shoulder, and it would be enough to drop a normal person. Don't ask how you know that, but it does not even call it. It staggers her a bit, but yeah. So everyone except for Thomas has acted. So.
Yep.
And Hazel, you gain your 1 CD for starting your turn, but you already spent
wait,
it. So, yeah.
Didn't she spend it?
Well, this is for now. Now she's at 1 because that was
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you do get 1 every turn. So
right.
So yeah, I do need to specify that. Like if you spent your action or reactive thing like defending or counterattacking, you still get your 1 CD every turn at a minimum. So yeah.
Well, because it says once the combo is done, reset the CD to 0.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I got it at the beginning of the turn and I've spent it. So
my action took place at the same time as hers. So technically it wasn't my round because my turn, because my action was defending, not attacking. And I used the counterattack combo point. So that's how I still end up with 1. So maybe attacking last is actually the way to go. So you can just always be guaranteed at least 1 combo point.
Look at little Miss. I read the rules before the game started.
So Thomas, what do you want to do?
Yeah. Well, Chris appears to be distracted by trying to punch a hole in the car window. I'm going to clock him across the back of the head with this piece of wood.
Okay. Do you want to use any of your CD?
Yes, I will use 2 CD for more damage. Which I think is because I've got 3 CD, so I don't. No, I have 3 CD. Might have a word with you about the graphic design of that particular element.
It's very functional, not meant to be like the final thing.
I am joking.
Yeah,
I am joking.
So James, you have to spend all your CD.
Yeah. So you can spend your last one on. You can spend it on stronger attack and inflict +2 vulnerable status. So, as well.
Okay, let's go for that. That's a stronger attack and more damage. Strength 1, and I've rolled a cock dice. Trouble. This is the dice I'm rolling, and it rolls quite a long way, and then hits something and stops in a way that is not actually a roll. Oh, for fuck's sake! 11, which I think is. I assume it was I after a 12. No, hold on.
Yeah, so you need a 12.
I need a 12, but I add one for strength.
Yes, you do add your
Okay.
strength.
So I got
All right.
12.
All right, so you get to roll 2d6 damage. Oh, actually, instead of spinning it out, you had the improvised weapon. So the improvised
Yes.
weapon is a special property that you have to spin one CD to have it not break. So instead
Okay.
of... Yeah.
Okay, I'll drop the stronger attack in that case. I'll have the...
Yeah. So you can still roll 2d6 for damage.
Okay.
And you get to add 1 to that because he already has vulnerable 1 because Brent shot him last round.
Okay, I add 1, 6 total.
All right, 6 is not enough to drop him, but he does go up with an additional vulnerable. So they're both at vulnerable 2 now. So, yeah.
Okay, so the windshield's out.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, pop out of the windshield, shoot the guy who is right by the front door, and then sort of still maintaining cover, or...
That sounds like a stunt. Yes, you can do that. I would say you can... If you succeed at a stunt, you can then attack. Like stunting is sort of like the take a risk / stunting is sort of like where the GM can oh yeah, that sounds right. If you do this, you can succeed.
And I was at 3 pips, and I get another one because the round starts.
Yes, so you're now
and then
4.
another one because of the semi-automatic.
Once you attack, but if you're stunting first, you wouldn't get that until the attack part. So the way I would do this, so the stunting thing is more like GM sort of making up the rule as you go because it's individual. So if you succeed at a DR12 speed check, you can pop out of the car in time to take a shot. But if you fail the roll, then that's your action.
Trying to decide if I want. Yeah, I'll just roll for it. How bad can it be? That's a 17 again.
All right. So you pop out, and now you can make the attack roll, and you gain the
and
1
I've
CD.
got my extra point, so I have 5 pips. I am going to spend 4 to automatically succeed, and 1 to add +2 vulnerable to door guy. So that spends them all.
Okay.
And so that's just adds 2 vulnerable, and I roll the die.
Yeah, just roll D6.
Okay. That's a 3.
All right, so that would be 5 damage because he already has vulnerable 2, but that would inflict a total of 3 vulnerable to him. So
He's now vulnerable 5.
Yeah. So you shoot him with a headshot, and he staggers back, and then he kind of touches his own head and realizes that he's not dead, and he just kind of laughs. But you can see parts of the shadow dissolving a little bit. He seems less cohesive. But
What the actual shit?
Yeah, he lurches around at you. Let's see, what is his special ability? Oh, he squeezes. He turns into mist or into an impossibly thin, black liquid ooze and squeezes through the gaps in the broken car window to get to you and pops back into normal. So he has a special ability and he's going to use it. So he is going to attack you for 1d6 damage there, Brent.
Oh.
For 4 damage. Can you survive that?
And I cannot dodge this because I've already taken my action.
Correct.
And that's 4 damage. Cheating fate.
All right. With that, yeah, you can cheat fate.
So I can cheat once per scene, right? Oh, no, wait.
Cheat fate is whenever you would die or go to 0 HP.
Oh,
so if
I wouldn't go to 0 HP.
All right, then you're wounded, but you're still alive. So, yeah. You don't have to. Because there's first aid kits. Yeah, don't worry. We'll have plenty of time. Let me just take care of this guy. So he's still talking to Thomas while he's trying to maul you to death, Brent. So
rude.
Very rude. And then Maggie is going to recoil. And let's see here. What is her ability? She is actually going to... Yeah, no, she's just going to attack Hazel again. She really didn't like getting stabbed multiple times. That is 3 damage for you.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't like being stabbed. What a buzzkill.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? It's crazy. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll use my cheat fate here.
Okay. And she, again, the clawed hands are reach for your throat, but you flinch out of the way before they close in on you. But yeah, you could feel getting colder as the Maggie draws nearer to you. So next, Thomas.
Okay, I'm going to try and hit him over the back of the head with this improvised weapon again.
Yep.
I think my CD went right down at that point.
Once you use a combo, it resets to 0, but at the start of your turn, you get 1. So you can use that to just keep your improvised weapon intact, or All right.
That's what I'm going to try and do.
All right. DR12.
Rolling the thing. 5. That's not going to do anything.
All right. You swing and a miss. And then finally, Hazel.
All right. So, because I took the attack, I have another CD, and then it is my turn, so I get another CD. So I am currently at 3. So I am going to go ahead and use my combo action. When it says each option can only be selected once per combo unless specified, that just means like the specific action, not the specific attribute, right?
Yeah. So like you can quick draw multiple times if you have multiple things to quick draw, but like it doesn't. Yeah, or tough it out. You can take multiple times. You could be toughing out all kinds of attacks. So, and I should specify on tough it out. You could activate it and just have it waiting to use on a future attack. So like if Brent uses it, he could have that sort of in his back pocket for more attacks against him. But yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go with +2 or 2 points more damage and then 1 point power. So either way, if this does not kill her, the +2 vulnerable hopefully will help. So let's see if I can actually hit, I guess, is the first part. Oh, I don't. That was a 2. So no, I definitely don't.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth it to save up to guarantee a hit.
No.
Yeah, but we're learning. So you miss, but you gain 1 CD for missing. So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yay! And we're back to Brent.
All right.
CD for starting your turn.
Brent was at 0. Gets 1 for starting, and if I shoot, I get another. I gotta shoot this guy.
Yeah. He's at vulnerable 5, so yeah.
All right, that's a 20.
Okay, yeah. I don't have natural 20 rules yet. Oh, no, there is a natural 20 rule. You restore cheat fate by rolling a natural 20. So yeah.
I haven't had to cheat yet. I'm winning honestly. Take notes, the rest of you. And that's a 6. Okay.
Plus 5, that's 11
I'm
damage.
dialed in.
Yeah, Chris is obliterated. His inky blackness just turns into a black mist and it just fades away, just like popping a balloon of mist.
Yeah, I was picturing it just splattering all over the inside of the car, but
yeah, there's some black ooze, sure,
splatters and then just sort of fades out, and it just they're in the car surrounded by gun smoke, hands shaking, like looking around to see if he vanished to appear in the back seat.
So Maggie goes next, and she sees this happen, and she's like, "No! How dare you!" and lurches forward at Brent. So Brent, you're going to get clawed at
again.
Yeah,
Brent's
for 6 damage.
Presumably.
No, he's took a stunt to get out of the car from the.
I thought I'd popped out and then popped back in.
Oh, okay.
That was what.
Okay, so yeah, he was in the car with you because he could squeeze through small gaps.
Yes.
So, but Maggie rolls a 6 on her attack roll, so she punches through the car window to get to you.
Okay. Did that hit me, or was that to clear the window?
That was to get through the window. Yeah, let's roll again for damage. Yeah, only 1 point of damage.
Okay, I got 1 left.
But Thomas, you can go next.
Okay, Maggie's here now. Gosh, think about what happened to Chris in a minute. Try and use my improvised weapon to clock Maggie across the back of the skull. I have 2 CD at this point, so I'm not going to burn one of them to keep the weapon. Okay. The weapon will disintegrate as part of doing this, which will be spectacular and probably funny if it does no damage. Rolling. That would be a 5. So, yes, that does no damage.
All right. That's only if it hits, I think. Yeah, I would say if you're sweet, I should say not break after hitting a foe.
Okay.
If you swing and miss, it does. I mean, how could it break? Yeah.
It just flies out of his hands.
Yeah. So you swing and miss. So you get a CD for that. And then Hazel, you can run up and stab Maggie in the back if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter. God damn it.
Well, you gain a total of 2 CDs, so
Yay.
you got to go for that, you too. So Brent, Maggie's trying to pull you through the car, but you can return fire.
So I've now got 4, right?
Yeah.
If I shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. I will use those 4 for a precise hit.
All right.
So
Maggie has 2 vulnerable, so it's a D6 plus 2.
That's another 6. My dice are red hot today.
Is that the 6 was your roll?
Yeah.
All right, so plus 2, that equals 8, and 8 is her hit points, so that obliterates her as well. So she is gone. So it turns out, good.
Guys, I think only bullets can harm them.
Well, I did something to Chris, just not very much. Yeah. But, on a more general point, what the fuck?
I second that.
Yeah.
So,
guys, am I bleeding right here and here?
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. I don't
Like
have any
this.
bandages. Is there anything in the glove compartment? The glove.
I will say there is a first aid kit in the trunk of the car that you can find. So if you look in the common items.
Yeah, I'm searching the car for more bullets.
Okay.
I will say, there is an addition.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I work with power tools, so I'd probably know something about first aid.
Yeah, that's true. You can use that. So there is a first aid kit. It has a pool of 6 HP you can use, and you can allocate that however you want.
All right, I'm 5 down. How many are the rest of you down?
I assume when you cheat fate, you go back up to full.
No, you stay where you are.
Oh.
It just means the
Okay.
attack missed. You
Got
fade.
it.
Yeah. So you as
Then
you're
I'm at 2.
yeah. So you're rummaging through the car. You could just allocate each of you get 3, since there's 6 total.
Did Thomas avoid damage altogether? Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit puffed. It's a long time since I've been in a fight. It's surprisingly tiring.
Put it in a bag.
Otherwise,
So
I'm fine.
you all hear an older woman call out. It's like, "Hello, who's there?" It's coming from the gift store. You turn and
Don't
see.
make me shoot you, lady.
It's okay.
think
Well,
This
you're
may be
living.
Millicent.
I shot 2 people already.
There weren't people. I'm coming out. Please don't shoot. My name's Millicent Smith. That's my car.
Oh,
Yeah, this is probably your gun too.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of don't want to give it up.
That's okay. You seem to be pretty handy with it. So I'm not a very good shot either. So an older woman comes out. She, looks like in her 60s, kind of very
God.
simply dressed, looks almost, like the kind of person who runs church, potlucks and PTA meetings,
no.
and she's very nice looking. She says, "Hello, did Elizabeth contact you?"
About bad dreams.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can explain more. They're holding Elizabeth up there. She points to the top of the hill. We have to get her, and the book of hours, the book of the chronicler. I know there's a lot to explain, but those things that attacked you used to be living people, but what happened at Foxbrook was not natural. It turned people. It killed most people, but some people, I don't know exactly why, but some people were chosen to come back, and they seem to be fixated on someone they knew in life. So any of you recognize those people? Those things?
Yeah.
yeah,
I did.
yeah. Chris I didn't know him well, but he was an asshole. Evidently, he maybe had some fixation on me.
Well, in that case, they're I guess as near as I can put it, they're not alive, but they're not dead. But they think they need us for some reason to fully bring them back. And
so you would call them what? The non-dead?
Yeah, I guess. I know it sounds crazy, but
Well, having shot two of them, I'm more open to the. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd rather shoot two non-deads that turn into smoke than like two dudes, no matter how much of an asshole one of them was.
but it was the book of the chronicler that the church had me, the church, someone gifted the church this land, tithed it to them. And Keeper Garrison, the leader of the church, entrusted me to look after this place so we could use it for certain purposes, and also book of the chronicler.
You were in the church with the people that.
Yes.
But
I wasn't there.
Brent had been thinking about giving her the gun back, and now he's like, maybe I don't want to give her the gun back.
And the keeper came back because of me. He was angry that I wasn't there in their hour of need. But Elizabeth, I showed Elizabeth the book, and she found there's two rituals in there. And we used one of them, and that made them not nightmares but real. Brought them into the physical realm. We'd been having the nightmares. We thought this ritual would banish them, but it didn't. It must be the other ritual in the book.
And you left the book up there.
Well, I went out to get food. Elizabeth must have done the ritual on her own and made them real, is the only thing I can think of. And they attacked me when I came back, and I holed up in there. And then you all showed up. So I don't know what's happened to Elizabeth, but the book's up there. She was up there, and they must be up there.
Oh, man. How are we going to get all the way up there?
Well, there's a generator, and there's gas in the shed back there.
Are there more things? Are there more non-deads?
Probably. We should hurry.
How badly damaged is her car?
Oh, her car is totaled. Like she ain't driving anywhere. But there's gas in the. Let's see here. And where did I put the gas? Let's see here. Fuel locations. Yeah, there. She tells you there's one in the. Let's see here. The maintenance in the gondola station. Yeah, you can siphon it from her car. Yeah, I mean, you can siphon it from your own cars. Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, but there's one in the gondola station. You could and you can take it up.
All right. Well, stuff I've got. Just in case, did she bring back in the groceries? Are there drinks?
Yeah, there's bottled water.
All right, taking that. Looking in the trunk, is there a spare tire or a donut?
Yeah, there's a spare tire. Yeah, I'll say it's a donut. Yeah, it's definitely not.
Under the donut, is there a jack handle?
There is a jack handle, yeah.
Okay.
Could use that as a club, yeah.
I will take the jack handle and see if... Yeah, I'll look at Thomas and, I'll hold out my hands, and one has the jack handle and one has the pistol. I don't know you very well, but tool up.
Yeah, if we need to go now, I'm not going unarmed. I need something. I'm not happy with guns, but I'm happy with some kind of implement.
Yeah, the jack will also do 1d6 damage, but it won't break after each hit, so that's a standard club. So, yeah.
Good
so you
old
take
jack
the jack
handle. Nothing beats jack handle.
Yeah. So, are you all going to split up, or you're all going together to find gas for the jack?
Yeah. Split up the party.
I'm not interested in splitting up.
Fuck out of here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna slip a couple cans of Spam in my pocket and
all right, yeah,
grab the water and
yeah. Check with Millicent that it's okay to take her groceries.
Yes, please, anything. We just need to we need to get up there and get the book, and it's Lethe's blessing, not the chronicler's blessing. That's Lethe's blessing. That'll be the key. But you have to find the book. I don't know what else is up there. I mean, I know the building's up there, but I don't know what's.
All right. Does the car have a gas can, or are we going to have to find one?
It does not have a gas can. So
all right.
She said there is one in the gondola station. So, yeah. So you all. She gives you the keys to the place.
She coming with?
Yeah. She'll tag along, and
So this is now an escort mission until she reveals that she was the high priestess all along. Got it.
Yeah.
So I would say it's pretty easy to siphon off, to grab the stuff to siphon and a gas can. Well, there is a gas can at the gondola station. There's siphoning stuff. So you can go from there and just put one can.
To run that generator, I'm thinking, how much gas can it take to run that thing up a mountain? It's got to be more than you can carry in one can.
Well, I'm going to say, for the sake of plot purposes, it's a unit. She explains that one unit of gas, the gondola,
it's probably like a 50-gallon drum on one of those hand trucks.
So if you put in 1 unit of gas, which if all of you, I'll say there is a 1 unit worth of gas at the gondola station, and if you totally empty her car, that would be another unit. And with 2 units, that would put the gondola at half speed and put on some lights for the park, emergency lighting, which is like red lights and very dim. Now, if you get 3 units, that's operating at the gondola operates at full speed. And at 4 units, full lighting for the park. And then at 5 units, you can get the security cameras on. But that requires getting a lot of gas. So there's 1 unit worth at the gondola station and 1 at Millicent's car. And that's all she knows about.
2.
Yeah.
I mean, that white car's been there forever and a day. So it's probably, the gas in there's probably gone bad.
Yes.
Unless it's diesel. These aren't diesel engines.
No, it runs on regular gasoline.
It runs on regular.
I'm going to say, for the sake of plot, that it runs on regular gas. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
do we want to check the gift shop for more gas, or do we want to get up? I'm inclined to get up, get around, and get out.
Yeah, you could. Let's see here. There is. Yeah, you could search the. She was the caretaker of this place, but she didn't search this part of the plot.
Take a lot of care.
Yeah.
So as we're siphoning gas out of it, so there's nothing in the gondola station.
I didn't say that.
I'll be paranoidly covering everyone, every direction.
Yeah. So you're able to get the gas from the gondola station and Millicent's cars pretty easily. Now, do you want to... So that's 2 units of gas that you can get pretty easily. Do you want to go to the generator now, or do you want to go siphon from the cars in the parking lot? I'll say Elizabeth did leave her car in there, so you could siphon her car for 2 units.
Oh, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I should have mentioned. Yeah, her car is there, locked. I mean, Millicent says it's, Elizabeth's car. There is another car aside from your 3 cars. Yeah. So a total of 4 cars.
I did hand Thomas that lockpick.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we're pillaging it for gas.
Yeah.
So wait, she's the one who cast the spell that brought our nightmares to life?
Mm-hmm. Because you were having nightmares before. Yeah, I
don't feel bad about robbing her car. How do you feel about robbing her car?
Well, Hazel could use her background to pick the lock automatically for this scene.
Yeah.
Because she would definitely know how to break into a car, being the bartender who serves more than just drinks. All right, so the 4 of you head out to the parking lot.
We're going to wind up having to defuse a nuclear bomb, and she'll be like...
Well, no, you only have enough gas cans for 2 units. You have to go to the generator, fill it up partially, and then go back to the parking lot. So,
this is just work. Okay.
Well...
Yeah.
I'm also going to check that car, see if there's anything of value in there. Maybe another jack handle.
Let us see. There, I did write up. Let's.
Or if she was, toting around an assault rifle, because it's America, and she's going to spooky land. She probably assumed, like I did, that anything happening here would turn out to be at a spooky abandoned amusement park would turn out to be a real estate scam.
See here. She just have a ladylike little 9mm. The kind of person who carries a ladylike 9mm is not going to unlikely to carry an assault rifle as well, I would have thought.
No, this is Elizabeth the reporter, not Smith the cult church secretary.
Yeah.
I will say...
Always brings a really good potato hot dish casserole to the feast of the 10,000 eyes.
Yeah, I'll say, she has another pistol in there.
Hey!
All right. So who wants with 1 additional magazine in there, so you can reload once. And who wants the second pistol? Probably Hazel, because I believe Thomas has the jack, which works as a club.
The jack handle.
Yeah, jack handle.
Hazel, you want this?
I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be better than this piece of shit. And I just kind of like gesture at the knife as if the knife is why I couldn't land any hits and not any other thing, like my own incompetence.
I mean, you did stab her once pretty well.
That's true,
but,
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Brent is showing off like the big old plumber crack butt as he's rummaging around in the trunk for another jack handle, if there is such a thing.
You know what? Actually, I am going to change that to try something for playtesting. For the sake of rules variety, instead of a pistol, she has a sledgehammer. Now, which is a 200 weapon. If you have a bonus in strength, it definitely is more efficient. So for the sake of rules, so the sledgehammer has two special properties. One is heavy, gain strength, your strength bonus in CD after each attack. If you have a negative strength, you have to spend that much CD to attack with this weapon. And then it has a special ability at 6 CD, deadly swing, automatically hit with an attack for 2d6 plus strength damage and gain advantage on the damage roll. The target loses their next action. So instead of a pistol, it's going to be a sledgehammer. She was thinking about breaking into walls and, doing some demolition to find hidden doors and secrets in the park. And so she got a sledgehammer. So does anybody want a sledgehammer?
I would be the worst person to have the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I figure
how big is Hazel? Is Hazel like petite?
Well, she can see over the bar, presumably.
Yeah. I'm not petite, but I'm also
stand on a milk crate.
Yeah.
I'm also not like enormous, right? I feel like
You're not
average
hoisting.
size.
If you have a strength bonus of 1 or better, it's a good weapon to use.
Yeah, I got strength too.
I have a strength of 0, so
I hit a gun and pick up the sledgehammer.
All right. Well, James, do you want to?
I have a strength of 1, and I'm used to working with my hands and with tools.
All right, there you go.
So
I got a strength of 2.
Oh, okay. Well, then James can get the gun, and then you could get the...
Is that how we want to do it?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. I've messaged you all the stats for the gun, or for the sledgehammer, so you can look at them in more detail. And let's see here. And, yeah, so... I will. Yeah, one of you can use. I would say it makes more sense for the landscape gardener to instinctively want the sledgehammer.
Okay, he instinctively does. I think I would feel comforted by having a sledgehammer.
Yeah, and I would say your background. You could use your background once per fight to automatically hit with the sledgehammer because.
Hello, beautiful.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So.
Stop! It's hammer time. So I will take the jack handle then.
So you're siphoning off her car, you get your 2 units, and you head back from the parking lot towards the generator, and all of you can see Millicent sort of yelps and points up in the air. And let's see here. Brent, you see Rosemary flying. She has dark wings, but she appears to be, a half... like parts of her flesh are missing, revealing the skeletal underneath. There's this shadowy aura around her, and she has black feathered wings. And she is cackling as she watches the 4 of you.
So we're just out in the total open in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. And she is overhead, and she is going to swoop down to you, Brent. So,
all right. So I don't get any kind of aiming bonus for dialing her.
If you want to attack her with your gun, you can, but she will definitely still get a hit off. If you want to jump out of the way, that's a DR12 speed check.
I think I will jump out of the way.
All right.
Come on, DR12. No. He tries to do a combat roll. I just kind of flops over.
All right, that is 2 damage.
Okay, and that would kill me.
All right, so you use Cheat Fate, I imagine, as she misses and then flies off.
Wait. I thought that we used the first aid kit and you took 3 points of health and I took 3 points. So 2 would not kill you.
Oh, so I'm just down to 1 again.
Yeah. There you
But
go.
I did survive an attack and begin a turn in combat.
Well, she's flying away. She's using hit and run tactics. So you could take a shot at her, but
All right,
before
I'll take
she
a
gets
shot. So let's see. I began a turn in combat. I survived an attack. And now I'm shooting with the gun that gives me one. So I got 3 points. If I inflict more vulnerable on her, that sticks around like forever, right?
Yeah, I would say in this case it does. Certain creatures
But I'll
not.
just do stronger attack and more damage.
Okay.
Come on. Die, that's been rolling really well. Okay, that's a 14.
All right. 2d6 damage.
That's 3.
All right. That inflicts, so she gets vulnerable 3.
Yeah, next time stay home, Rosemary. Dumb incompetent.
So you wing her, but she manages to fly away. Now you've got 4 units in there. You would only need 1 more unit, which you'd have to go back to the parking lot to get, or you could start up the gondola now. The gondola has that would be full lighting for the park, and the gondola operates at full speed.
All
The
right.
only thing you'd be
What
missing
do
would
y'all
be the
think we should
security
do?
cameras. So
Yeah, I'm not going to bother with the security cameras because we would have to be where they are to have any use from them. And by the time we went anywhere else, anyone we might have seen would have moved.
all right.
Except we would know how many people there were.
So
I don't know. What do you think, Hazel, Thomas, Smith?
I think we should go back to town, book an appointment with a good shrink, get as many over-the-counter pharmaceuticals as we can, and just forget this ever happened.
No,
Well, that's not going to
Fuck that.
happen, is it? Because there's scary friggin' things with wings and skulls coming at us. So
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. If we do that, they're just gonna get stronger and worse. I don't think we're ever gonna get a better jump on them than right the hell now.
Mhm.
I mean, and we could call the cops. And then there's just a pause, and then all 3 of us laugh.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, yeah,
We could just call the cops and be safe in jail when they assume that we're having an LSD freak out.
Great, yeah, and then get admitted for psychiatric holds and then never let out.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Forever.
I don't think that I would even be safe momentarily. So, you know.
Yeah. All right. So are we going now, or are we trying to get more gas? I don't really want to cross that. Oh, man. Though here's the thing, as I think about it, he says, and he kind of like puts both his hands to his face and rubs his face with both hands. He's like, if we're up in the gondola, Rosemary, the bird girl, is going to come at us then.
Good point.
What are the chances she could knock that thing off its track, and then we're just stuck and dangle there 3 days until we die of thirst? Or that she can get in?
I hadn't considered that, and now I'm horrified at the thought.
I think what we should do, she's going to come for me. So if we go out in the parking lot where I'm out in the open, then we can expect it this time. Can we set Smith up with the gun to snipe her from somewhere? And we'll all just be waiting like for a baseball when it comes over home plate.
I mean, you could try to taunt her and lure her into one of the building, like the gift store. We could push open the barricades I made, and maybe we could do this. Is Millicent talking, obviously. And then if she's inside a place with a roof, she can't fly away as easily.
Yeah. Well, what do y'all think about that? What do you want? How do you want to do this? Because I think we should take her down before we get up into the air, which is clearly her element.
Yeah, I'm not super keen on meeting a flying creature while in the air, since you've put that horrible, 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 nasty thought in my head.
Welcome to my nightmares.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, if you're okay acting as bait, getting her somewhere where we'd be able to trap her under our roof is a good idea. And with that sledgehammer, I think just like getting her to fly in somewhere and letting Thomas wail on her, and hopefully we can connect and just smash her head in early. I mean, I think that's ideal, right?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Brent, you know Rosemary, so you know what pushes her buttons. So you could use your background to automatically taunt her to lure her into the building.
All right. Yeah. Is there anything we can use as like a net to entangle her to keep her from flying away?
That would be, there's you could make a check. There's some loose like construction materials in the gift shop. Like, let's see, some wireframe shelving. Yeah, I would allow int. Yeah, that would be a roll. Let's see here. Thomas, you're good with your hands.
15.
Okay, yeah. You can make, I would say, there's like some broken power cables and wire framing shelving you could use to make as kind of a restraint. Yeah. So between the two of you and that successful roll, you could make it. It would definitely be a 2-person thing to throw it on her, But Thomas, you could get it down to 1 person with it by using your background if you want to do that, or you could roll.
A lot of proper garden. You get landscaping a garden. Yes, there's a lot of cabling involved, cables and manipulating cables and stuff. So.
Yeah. All right. So one of you has a crude net made from improvised material. Who wants that? Let's see. Brent has to be there to taunt, and then one of you should be the shooter. Millicent definitely does not want to shoot. She has the gun, but she's not very good with it. So
she owns the gun. I'm not giving the gun to Millicent.
Okay,
because I still suspect she might be secret cultist.
I mean, she asked if she can be a cultist if there's no cult left, but and
the answer is always yes, because she's the last.
Oh, okay.
She's like those. She could be like those Japanese guys who were still fighting World War II years after the armistice, holed up on the island in her mind.
All the unnatural monsters popping up and giving her nightmares and trying to kill her have given her some second thoughts about her religion. So
I've seen too many people just double down and double down. Yeah, Hazel, will you take this handgun and shoot my former volunteer partner?
Hazel.
Yeah. Sorry, I was laughing at former volunteer partner. Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I will. I will do that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh God.
So I will so write the handgun on your sheet. And I'll put crap net on mine. Right. You've got the sledgehammer. This is gonna happen.
All right. So yeah, Brent, it'll definitely work. Just what?
He's gonna like make a crude megaphone and be like, "Hey, Rosemary, everyone said that your macrobiotic bean casserole was the worst thing they'd ever eaten, not just because it tasted so bad, but it gave them the runs. Also, everybody had diarrhea because of you, Rosemary."
She screams out, "No! It was your terrible chili! Your chili caused the food poisoning!"
Nobody suspected my chili, Rosemary. Also, you remember that guy with the white guy with the dreadlocks, the blonde dreadlocks? He said he thought your ass was fat.
All right, she's just flying into the gift store to attack you. So yeah, this will be combat. If you want to try and go before Rosemary, tries to rip out Brent's throat and silence him, that's a DR12 speed check. And if you just want to have that extra CD, you could just go last. So Thomas, are you wanting to go first?
I feel I ought to try and intercede in this. So I'm not going to go last, but I will go. My speed is 1. So DR12, I've rolled a 3, so it's all kind of irrelevant.
Okay. Then, actually, you know what? I should say you prepared an action to ambush. So you did say that. So actually,
you said he could get a free automatic successful hit, right?
No, I'll say you have to roll, but I'd say this has got ambushing. I need to add that in there. Ambushing will change standard initiative rolls. So ambushing rules, I need to put that in there. So ambushing, since you did set up an ambush, you all get to go first, except for actually the other people get to go first because
my action is hollering calumnies about her booty.
Yeah. And so, Thomas, you can go ahead and attack. And at the start of your turn, you get 1 CD. And,
Okay, going with the sledgehammer. Mm-hmm. That's an 8. I haven't saved. I'm really short of sleep. I've got no focus.
Yeah, but you did miss an attack, so you get a CD for that. But then the sledgehammer thing, you get your strength bonus in CD after you swing. So
so I'm on 2 now.
Yep. And you also started your turn, so that's another one. So it should be at 3. Yeah,
3.
And then Hazel.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying because I don't know if anybody's asked this, and if somebody has, I apologize. Your CD from fight to fight starts over, right?
Yeah, it always resets to 0 after a fight.
Okay, great. I was pretty sure that was the case. I was pretty sure that was the case, but I am glad to know for sure.
All right, what you doing?
I
can't
do
nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try and make a shot with this gun. What is its speed is the bonus with handguns, you said? Mm-hmm. Great, then that is 12.
All right, that hits. And you get to add +3 because Rosemary is vulnerable 3.
For a total of 4.
Okay. Well, now she has vulnerable 4.
Yay.
So, as you wing her again, and now
why do they keep shooting me in the wings?
Yeah, and so she is going to attack you, Brent.
And I do not have the opportunity to roll a dodge, right?
No.
Because I was taunting. I have no CD. Okay, I'm just sucking this up and getting ready for my second cheat fate.
Actually, no, I would say I didn't. Yeah, talking to her isn't really a full action. So I'd say you can defend if you want.
Right. Why would I not? Ooh, 18.
All
the
right.
hot dice continue. This is, I promise. Not
so you negate that
lying,
attack?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I believe it. So that's 5 damage you negate and get out of the way. So new round. So we'll keep the same initiative. So back to Thomas. You're starting now. You have 4 CD. So
It's going at her again.
You can use your combo dice if you want. You could just automatically hit.
I can just hit her, which, given the way this thing's been rolling, yes, I just hit her.
Okay. So roll d6 plus your strength plus 4, because she's at vulnerable 4.
Okay, so this is +5. That's 8.
8 is exactly her hit points. So you bring the sledgehammer down on her head, and it just bursts into mist and dissipates.
Oh. So that net was a bit redundant.
Well, you still have an improvised net, so
you never know. You never know when you're gonna need a crap net.
Yeah.
Thanks, Thomas. I really appreciate that. You've done me a solid. And the truth is, the guy with the blonde dreadlocks actually thought she was cute. It's really kind of sad.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I just kind of give a little side eye to Brent. I don't think I like Brent, but I'm not going to say anything.
Brent would have said anything to drive her crazy to attack.
Yeah,
I get that, but part of me also sits here and wonders, all right, was she really the bad person here, or is it just that Brent's an asshole? The jury's still out.
She was just as good as the woman who lent you money in your time of need.
All right.
Anyway.
You don't know that story. You don't know that story.
I get it. You're just psyching yourself up for the moment when you have to choose whether to risk yourself to save Brent's life, and you're preparing yourself to feel okay with chickening out and allowing him to die.
Well, yeah,
it's legit.
It's legit.
So meanwhile, I know I'm confident that Chris was an asshole, and I feel absolutely fine about trying and failing to knock his head off.
See, this is maybe
my life.
Yeah, as we're, hauling more gas and getting the gondola ready, I'm like, notice how, okay, Chris came for you, but I killed him.
Yeah.
And Rosemary came for me, but you killed her. And then who killed the bony one? That was me, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So maybe we can't, maybe the ones that are fixated on us can only be killed by someone else.
That fits the available evidence. Let's go and kill some more dead things.
All right.
I mean, because I know I got a hit on Maggie, and it didn't seem to do anything. So you actually might be onto something there.
Well, you could
and
you
he just
ponder
pokes
this.
himself in the head. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not just a pretty face."
Yeah, you ponder this as you fire up the gondola and get up to the top of the hill at Peak Adventures. And you can see you arrive at the gift shop and gondola station next to the food stands and restaurant. If you look at the screen share that I have provided on this map, of course,
just knowing that there's a cave, I know we're winding up in that cave. The final confrontation with evil is not going to happen under a giant burger.
Yeah. Some things are a bit obvious. Yeah. So as you get up to the top of it and you disembark from the gondola, which swings ever so slightly in the breeze as you rise up, and let's see here, you get to, all of you in the distance can hear. Actually, yeah, all of you can see as you're getting up there. The gift shop is nearby, but also that there is a shadowy figure approaching from the roller coaster direction. It seems to be attracted by the silhouetted figure. There is lighting in the park, so you can see, and the figure is approaching rapidly. It's shadowy and dark. You have a bad feeling about it, but you disembark inside the building, so they're not able to see you yet. But
I feel so good. Does anybody see a first aid kit around?
Millicent says there's definitely one in the gift shop. So if you want to search that, but I don't know where. I will say in the restaurant, we used it for ritual purposes. And, well, there is a circle there I can reactivate for the ritual of remembrance. The Chronicler believed in preserving memories. I'm not going to go into the whole cosmology, but we can remember a past event from someone else's perspective, so we can remember where the book went to if we follow. I know Keeper Garrison is still around. He was summoned back. He was the one who's fixated on me, and he was the leader of the cult. So if we go to the restaurant, we can use the ritual to find out where they're hiding the book. I mean, or we could just search this place, but it's pretty big. I don't know exactly where they would have.
Well, yeah,
but the gift shop would have the first aid kit. But the figure's approaching from this direction between the roller coaster and the food stands.
Do we want to lay an ambush for whoever's rushing at us, or do we want to run to the gift shop and get me?
I mean, okay, here's the thing. What if this is like a person and not like a beastie, and we do have a net, so we could like trap them and then like ask questions maybe?
All right, sure. This is second floor. I'll crouch by this window. I'll peek out this window, and he like taps the window and then takes his jack handle and smashes it out and clears the glass. He's like, I'll stand here, and when they go someone else go down under the door, and I'll drop the net on them when they get here. God, this gets more like Scooby-Doo every second.
So you're doing this in the gondola station?
In the gondola station.
Okay. So you're going to drop the net? Or
I don't want to be the bait this time.
Okay.
I'll be the bait.
All right.
I've got a sledgehammer.
You do have a sledgehammer.
I like the way this works.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's my leg. I seem to be caught on something. I'm practically helpless.
Give me a solidarity check.
We're abandoning you. You're on your own, sucker.
Roll. All right, for that, let's see, for that action performance, roll solidarity, Thomas.
Okay, I mean, there's a reason I became a landscape gardener.
Yeah.
I've rolled a 2.
Yeah.
My sanity is 1.
Somehow the figure
the
just...
Host. The most menacing, I'm trapped anyone has ever said.
Yeah,
just
for
have
some
to
reason the
use their
figure
sledgehammer for a
doesn't
clutch.
go into the gondola station. In fact, they retreat back into the burger stand. Well, yeah, so you don't know exactly where they went. So all of you are huddled up in the gondola station at the top, but the ambush fails. You didn't know.
While I watch, I'm gonna call
Now,
Elizabeth.
you could. Don't forget, you can't exhaust attributes to succeed at rolls. So yeah. Sorry, go on, Greg.
I'm calling Elizabeth. Maybe that was her.
No answer, and you do not hear a phone ring nearby. So
Well, who doesn't have their phone on vibrate? Fuck. We beefed it. Break for the gift shop.
okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
all right.
Yeah.
Need a first aid kit.
All right, all of you get into the gift shop. You don't see anybody outside. Again, there is some lighting now because you did pretty much fully, well, not 100% fuel up the park, but you did get the lights on. And
We couldn't get full lighting, only mood lighting.
and they apparently did not. The gift shop is mostly fully stocked with souvenirs. They did not apparently empty it out after the park closed because it was at the top of the hill and it was too expensive to haul all that stuff down.
Did they have a souvenir? Do they have souvenir flashlights? They're probably
I would say
cheap
each of you
shit.
can make a DR12 intelligence check to find something useful, like a first aid kit or a flashlight or something you could turn into a weapon. So, yeah. Or don't forget, you can exhaust attributes to succeed.
12.
12. All right. 12. Yeah, if you want to find a flashlight, you find a flashlight.
Oh, I wanted to find the first aid kit.
Okay, you found the first aid kit.
For
Yeah.
sure. Is anyone
Yeah.
else hurt?
A little bit, but like one health. So like
Okay, so do first aid kits always heal 6?
They have a pool of 6.
Okay, and Thomas is undamaged.
I am undamaged, but my rolls are getting worse.
Well, I can
I
can go to
find
6,
nothing.
and Hazel can get maxed up.
Mhm.
Okay,
All
yeah, I'll bandage up Hazel and mutter stuff about how this is like the time Freddy at work got his hand pinched.
Yeah. Look at this. I found some souvenir nail clippers. I can deal with that hangnail that's been bugging me all day.
Hazel.
I rolled an 18.
All right. What do you want to find? Something sense.
Yeah, I think some sort of flashlight. I assume it looks like an old timey lantern.
Oh, yeah.
Thematically appropriate, right?
So flashlights have special actions in combat, and I'll send that to you all if you want to just know what they are. But of course you have to wield it in order to use it in combat. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, you for free without spending the CD, you can spend an action to highlight an enemy, give everybody a +2 to hit one particular enemy. Or for one action and one CD, you can make a DR12. That should be speed, not dex. I need to reread this. To negate one attack from one enemy, only works on enemies with eyes. So if you play Dead by Daylight, it's that. Yeah. So, but as you're searching, you hear a voice outside, and it is Chris. Actually, yeah. Chris is, let's see here. Thomas, just come on out. We're not going to kill you. We just want you to read from a little book. Just come out. Come on.
Isn't it? No fair. I shot your ass.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this. I'm immortal now. I don't die. Yeah, you can destroy my body, but it comes back apparently. It's great. I feel great.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, tell Rosie. Will you tell Rosemary I was lying about the dreadlock guy?
Oh, she'll be here pretty soon. I'm sure she'll be
damn it.
here. And of course, so all of you are in there.
Does it at least hurt when we kill you?
Not as much as you think. But don't worry. We'll we just want to get, come on. So all of you can make a DR12 intelligence check if you want to realize what is going on.
Give it a shot. I might as well.
Ugh. 7.
Okay.
13.
Actually rolled above
My dice
10.
really want me to be the protagonist. Sorry, gang.
Did you also
Somebody
succeed,
needs
James?
to be shit.
I got
I
a
got
13.
14. So
Okay, yeah. All right. So those of you, so James and Greg, you both realize that Chris is just trying to distract you. And you turn in time to see Maggie coming in, and her skeletal form is sort of stuttering, for lack of a better word. She is moving very silently but very fast. And once you turn and see her, she's like, well, full speed time. So at this point, you can try to run. It's a big park. You could try and run and hide from them, or you can stand and fight again. But Maggie seems a little different. She seems faster now.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
I'm going to whip a net at her.
You are attacking?
Sure.
All right. We're back to combat, so...
Sir, is that okay, everybody? Or if you all run, I won't be surprised, but...
All right. So
I begin a turn in combat, and I gain a CD.
Yep. Well, it's first you have to roll for initiative.
Oh, okay. That's a 19, plus speed is 20.
All right, yeah. And then, let's see here, Thomas, if you want to go last, you can, or you can try to go first.
I'll go last, I think, this time.
All right, so you gain a CD for holding your action until after the enemy attacks. And then Hazel.
I mean, I didn't make the int roll to see what was happening, so I think just story-wise, I need to go last, right?
All right, that's fair. So back to Brent again. So what do you want to do? Chris is outside, but Maggie's inside.
I am whipping the net at Maggie.
All right, this is definitely a stunt. I think it makes more sense to use speed. I'm going to say it's an awkward net, so I'm going to say it's DR 14 instead of 12.
Well, that disintegrates midair, or it misses. I got a 6.
Okay, so you throw it and it just goes wide. Yeah, it's improvised. It's not super aerodynamic. It's just awkward to throw. And so she lurches forward and starts lashing out at multiple of you. She can attack 2 separate characters in the same turn now. She is stronger now, so she's going to attack Brent and Hazel. So Brent,
I'm right here.
Yeah, well, there were 2 damage for you, Brent. Hazel, 1 damage. So she rolled low this time, but yeah. And let's see here, Thomas, you can go next. Chris is outside. Okay. He is not. He actually starts forcing his way into the gift store, but it is the front door is locked, so he's not able to get in this round. But yeah.
No. Okay. No, going for Maggie. Sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm. So you start with 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that little collapse of your shoulders mean and that groan? That means good things, right, James? That's good news.
Thomas, you gain 2 CD because you missed, and the sledgehammer special action. Yeah, so you're at 4. Yeah. So the next round, next action, Hazel.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot her.
Okay.
Actually, shooting in a close space like this, I feel like is a bad idea for ears, right?
It's not. It's. It will be loud, but it's not an assault rifle or anything. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not going to be that simulationist and have this is not Phoenix Command or anything. So we're not calculating windage.
All right, that's fair.
What?
Then that is a 15.
All right, that hits. A roll damage.
A 6. Wow.
6.
All right, I'll take it.
Does not hurt her, but does make her vulnerable.
Not.
Yeah.
Yep. So in this instance, it didn't matter what she rolled.
You have to hit the threshold.
But if the threshold is more than 6, there's no point in rolling.
Well, I mean, if you had, in this case, yes, but there would be weapons and instances where you could, and I did design enemies that they have a threshold, but they still take some damage. It's not all or nothing. You have to, if you do at least 3 damage, it goes through and they regenerate damage, that kind of thing. So different enemies will have different combat abilities and different ways to kill them. This one is all or nothing, but So new round, back to Brent.
Grr. All right. Yeah, I guess it's jackhandle time.
Okay.
And so I began last turn and I survived an attack and I missed an attack. So I'm at 2 pips.
Would that be 3?
I'm at 2 pips, 3 in, and I get another one and that takes me up to 3.
Well, no,
right?
Start your round, survive an attack, and miss an attack. That's 3. That's 3 things that give you 1.
But this is a new round.
So you're at 4 now.
Yes, I'm at 4 checks, but that's 3 pips.
No, 0 is just there to show when you're at 0. So you.
So I'm at 4. So I can
you're at
auto
4.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
Hard not to love the auto hit. I'm auto hit.
Okay, roll damage. D6 plus 1.
Come on. That's a 6.
All right, it's another vulnerable. So you strike her, and she lashes back, or she goes for it again, and she is going to go at you, Brent, because obviously, and at Hazel again because, well, she doesn't like either of you.
Yeah.
All right, no, I should be rolling on the thing. Here it is. Oh, that is 6 on Brent, and
cheating fate.
Yeah, 4 on you, Hazel.
Oof.
Yeah.
I kind of think like maybe Ross wanted us to run earlier, but dice cast.
Well, this is a playtest. It's literally just to see how it works. I gave her every time you kill them, they get a little stronger each time. So she gets a special ability like attacking twice in the same round. But now we're back to Thomas, and so you're at 5.
Who's due?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to go for the auto hit. I'm going to auto hit her.
Okay, you have 1 point left.
I have 1 point left.
Yeah, you could use that to
stronger attack.
Yeah,
or tough it out for when your boy gets here.
Yeah, it'll be for the next attack. I should put in thing how long it lasts. It'll last for a full round. So yeah.
I'll hold on. I'll start again. I will hold on to it if that's okay.
You cannot hold on to it. That's the point. When the combo, when you spend any combo, you have to spend all of it. So
hell with it. I will go for the stronger attack.
Okay. All right. So even if you don't, you'll inflict a lot of vulnerable on her. So yeah. So it's a D6 plus 2 plus your strength.
That's 5 plus 3 is 8.
All right. That actually is enough. She still has 8 hit points. So yeah, you obliterate her with the sledgehammer again. Chris is gotten. Oh yeah, Chris on his action busted through the door, so will be able to attack next round. So Hazel. Yeah.
Okay. So it's time to use some combos, I think. So I'm at 5. I think I am going to do... Oh my gosh. Okay.
Make like a gangster. Go blap, blap, blap.
Yeah, I know. I see what I want. I'm trying to think about, because I like more damage, but I also like precise hit, but more damage could potentially take him out.
If you feel lucky, you could take an extra action and attack twice.
I know. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do extra action and stronger attack just in case. So, also question, I guess, would it be, if I took 2 attacks, the first one, if I make the first one a stronger attack and it goes through, that would add +2 immediately, so it would be +3? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do that then.
Okay.
Nope, the first attack is an 8. Yes, 7 plus 1.
Okay, roll again. Your gun will be empty at the end of this action, so yeah.
Okay. And then the second one, though, is a 20.
Okay, so you restore a cheat fate. That's the bonus for it. And then I'll say your stronger attack still goes through because it still applies.
Still part of the combo.
Yeah, it's still part of the combo. So go ahead and roll damage.
5.
So, yep, he has vulnerable 3 now. Yeah, but yeah, you restore a cheat fate, and he is definitely staggers back from the attack. So a new round, Brent.
Okay, so I am at 1 because I began a turn in combat. Did I survive? I did because I cheated fate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1. And did I miss her? Did I miss her? I can't remember if I missed her or not.
No, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you have to keep track of that yourself.
So I think I'm at 2.
Yeah, you're at 2.
So let's see. There's a maneuver where I can help. Let's see. Roll D20 plus interspeed with a DR to gain 2 and give 1 to an ally. Yep. All right. I'm maneuvering.
All right.
I'm going to get so that he is between me and Thomas so that he's front and backed. Mm-hmm. And Yeah, so adding, it doesn't matter if I add int or speed. That is a 17.
All right. So you get 2 CD.
I get 2 CD. I'm now up at 4, and Thomas gets 1.
All right. Thomas, it's actually, no, Chris is going to attack you next, and he is going to inflict 3 damage. But you do have your Tough It Out still active because it's not quite your turn. So you can reduce that damage by D6.
I wasn't running Tough It Out. I took Stronger Attack.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, so you take 3 damage.
I take 3 damage. Okay.
All right. But now it's your turn, and you gain 1 CD from that, and you gain 1 CD from Greg's action, and
yeah. And for starting.
Oh, and you got another one for being attacked. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm on 4, so I can go with another auto hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do that.
D6
so
plus 3 because
3.
he's vulnerable 3, and plus your strength bonus. So
that's another 8.
All right, you destroy him as well.
Sorry, 9. It's 9 total because he's plus 3, whereas the last one's plus 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
so 9.
You destroy him.
Whoa!
So, but yeah, you all now all of you realize these things will keep coming back until you resolve this. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you said we needed to find the book and get to the magic circle and use the magic. Wait, we need to get to the magic circle to find the book, then use the book at the magic circle to get them.
Well, no, we use the book on the creatures. I think, yeah. Yeah, you can. It doesn't take very long to. The book has an incantation, a blessing to Lethe, because she destroys memory, right?
Okay.
She's the enemy of the chronicler. We use the incantation on them, and that should make them mortal again. I think maybe even destroy them. I mean, I think Elizabeth. If we destroy their leader, the keeper, should deal with the rest. They're directionless without him, and they may, we need to find out where they are. Yeah, we gotta find the book. I thought
Smith said something about a magic circle that she could find someone else's memory and find
yeah, that's at the
was.
Restaurant.
All right,
so we
go into the restaurant.
Yeah.
All right.
I think at the Burger Shack we should check and see if there's another first aid kit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Stopping at the burger station, you can see. Yeah, everyone can give me a DR12 intelligence check or exhaust an attribute. 16. All right.
Oh wait, no, that's just 12.
All right.
Whoa.
But it's still
19. So I make it.
All right. There is one. There's a first aid kit at a Burger Shack. I guess that would be pretty standard kit. So yeah, another 6 HP you can restore. Between the lottery.
How much are we down total?
I'm down 5.
Ooh, I'm down 2.
I have yet to take a hit.
Oh my god.
Nice. So I'll go up to 5.
Would you hit this face?
Yes.
As time goes on, it's more likely, yes.
Okay.
How many times have we saved each other's lives? I don't get any credit for that. Okay, so how many you're 5 down?
Yeah, I'm at 1 again.
All right, you can have 5, and I'll go up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, so do we find something else useful?
Someone else, yeah. There would be knives that would make sense for this kind of place.
Megaphone.
Yeah,
Klieg
sure.
light.
Yeah, Klieg light doesn't really make as much sense, but a megaphone would be a kind of thing you'd find.
I mean, I don't know that we need a megaphone, actually. It would just make us louder than anyone else.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy giving you a megaphone if you want to use that.
Elizabeth, come out with your hands up.
If you want to challenge mode, we can do that.
Hey, listen, guys, it has a siren.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, what is something more?
Yeah, sorry, James.
I was just going to say the Ghostbusters role-playing game back in the day, they had card.
That's what I was referring to. The louder than everyone else.
But there's 2 of them in the box, which I just think is the perfect touch. Yeah, it's I love one of my favorite things. Plus equipment on cards, so you just take 3 cards. Perfect. So intuitive. So time saving as well at the start of a game.
I mean, let's see what else.
All night. I could
do that. Yeah.
Wrong podcast, James. But
damn it.
What else could we find at a restaurant?
Well, this is just the burger stand. The proper restaurant is the
burger stand.
Yeah.
Some kind of nasty chemical. can we, making toxins is just going to
that will
make
take
things worse
time.
for us.
I would say you could try it, but that's like taking it.
Can we find like a bottle of something flammable?
Let's see. You found the first aid kit. That was one successful check. How many other successful checks were there to search?
Just one, I think.
Just one, yeah.
All right. So yeah, you just found the one thing. You'd have to exhaust an attribute to find alcohol bottle.
I thought James succeeded too.
Did you succeed?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, you can find some.
Highest roll of the night.
Yeah, if it's a nat 20, you get to use a cheat fate back.
Nope.
Okay.
No, this
okay.
fucking dice, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Who wants a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah, I would say you could do that with your next check, and yeah. So I need to set Molotov cocktails. That's a pretty good, yeah.
That should be the first weapon in every modern survival horror game.
Yeah. I do need to add some more weapons to it, so that's a good playtesting note. But yeah, I'll say it does 2d6 damage, but if you fail an attack roll, you catch on fire. So
cool.
You really don't want to fail a roll on that.
That's why you wait till you got 4 CDs.
Yeah.
I feel like CDs need a better name.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay. Well,
I keep thinking of those discs that America Online came on.
It's just their combat dice, because the thing
times.
is you can use a d6 to track it, and you can use them to give yourself bonus dice. But yeah, I'm open to different terms for it. But
I'll sleep on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get to the restaurant. The tables and chairs have been pushed to the sides, leaving a large open space in the middle of the floor. Chalk marks from old ritual circles are still visible. A stack of papers from one of the table contains notes. Millicent goes there, and she looks at to one of you if you want to. I guess I can, but it remembers a past event from the perspective of someone else. I can see where Garrus, if you watch me for 10 minutes, I can do it myself. Or if you want to use it, you can. So she looks at any of you to see if you want to do the ritual yourself. Doesn't seem
I
like
look at Thomas and Hazel.
Yeah.
And, like, raise an eyebrow.
All right. So
This better not open the gates of hell and call something forth you can't put down.
I don't think it will. So out of character, if one of you do use it, it would exhaust you 1 point of solidarity or 1 use of cheat fate. So, but yeah,
that would be my last, and I have no soul.
Well, you can't go into negatives with this.
Well, cool.
Yeah. But she starts the incantation, and the three of you, I imagine, are guarding the building while she performs the ritual.
I'm watching her, to be honest.
Okay. You're watching her.
We should have Hazel watch her. Hazel has a gun.
Yeah.
That is true. Yes.
So you're watching her, but it doesn't take long. You can hear in the distance, in the sky. Actually, those of you who are watching outside, give me DR14 intelligence checks to see if you spot something.
Well, I'll try.
Nope.
You can exhaust an attribute. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 17.
So, Thomas, you see Rosemary's back. She's flying around.
For God's sake. Okay.
Looking, and she looks a little more substantial or darker. But she hasn't honed in on this. But she is, looking around the gift store area and just kind of searching for you. You don't know if she will. It seems likely she will look into the restaurant before the 10 minutes of the ritual are done. So you probably have a few minutes to figure out what to do.
Who has the Molotov?
Ooh.
Not me.
I didn't realize there was a Molotov.
Well, you made your search check in the Burger Shack, so yeah.
Do you want it? You want me to take it? I'm gonna suggest whoever has it shouldn't use it until they've got 4 CDs and can be sure it's gonna hit right.
I am not much of a thrower.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What if I take it and we hide? And then try and ambush her?
Yeah, you could try and hide.
Yep.
So that is a speed check to hide in the building if you want to hide. Yeah.
Did we pick the net back up from before?
I didn't.
Oh, damn it. I assumed one of you guys were.
I would say one of you could exhaust an attribute, intelligence or speed, to say you have did pick up the net.
We'll do that.
None of you declare. All right.
So you've got the net. I've got the Molotov.
Okay, so if you want to set up an ambush for Rosemary, that is, let's see, you just wait till
I'm going to exhaust my intelligence to set up the ambush for Rosemary.
Okay. So you figure out exactly how she'll come in through the front doors because with her wings she can't come in through the windows. It'll be faster for her to go through the doors, which you prop open slightly so it's easier for her to go in, and then you can drop the net right on her as she goes in, with two of you holding the net, one on each side, so the net is
spread out,
spread out properly, and. Yeah, since you exhausted an attribute, it works. She is pinned by the net, and I will say one attack gets to hit automatically. So
can it please be the Molotov?
It can be the Molotov. Yeah.
May I please set my former coworker on fire? I really want to.
So I will say, it does 3d6 damage and catches her on fire. So
how about some fire, Scarecrow?
Yeah.
Oh God, that was not a good roll. Okay, it wasn't bad. It was 9.
9 is enough to kill her. So she dissolves into mist. Millicent is so the building's a little on fire.
Maybe I'll look around for a fire extinguisher. Those are supposed to be clearly labeled, right?
Yeah. Give me a DR12 intelligence check if you want to find a fire extinguisher.
That's a 6, baby.
All right. So Hazel, what are you doing?
Man, when the dice turn, they really turn.
Yeah.
I was tasked with watching Millicent.
She's locked in for sure. So
yeah. So I guess my job is going to be to try and make sure that the fire doesn't get over here. Is there a check I can make to see if there's like I'm sure it would be long expired by now, but maybe there's a fire extinguisher around.
Yeah, you can also search for a fire extinguisher. DR12 intelligence check.
Great.
Or exhaust and point of intelligence to find it automatically.
You know what? I'm going to actually do that. I will exhaust a point of intelligence to just find one.
Yeah, you find one and you can put the fire out. So yeah,
Great.
You don't have to roll for that. And shortly after you put the fire out, Millicent comes out of her trance and says, "It's in the funhouse. The one who is obsessed with Elizabeth, Arthur, he's guarding it. He's one of these undead things.
Non-dead.
They're cursed. He was obsessed with her. He was a member of our cult, but he was infatuated with Elizabeth. Maybe we can talk him out of it." Yeah.
In her picture by her byline, I don't know. I guess people get obsessed.
She's like in her 40s. God, wow. You think women can't be attractive in their 40s? Wow.
There are plenty of women who are extremely attractive in their 40s. I just didn't think she was one of them. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Not everyone has to like what I like.
Yeah.
No, I can see what was. Obviously, when she was alive, I can see that she would have been an attractive.
No,
woman.
Elizabeth still isn't Elizabeth still alive? Did I lose?
She was alive when I left, but I don't know. I don't know what they've done to her. If anything,
I thought we were talking about someone else.
Yeah, Elizabeth is the reporter who texted you all.
Wait, you weren't thinking about Rosemary, were you?
The undead winged creature that you just burned up or you destroyed for the second time. Yeah,
Non-dead. Non-dead.
Not dead, yeah.
So, he's in the funhouse and guarding the book.
Where the hell is the funhouse? Close to the cave, I bet.
Yep, it is. Look, it's right here.
All right. We've all seen Game of Death. We know there's going to be a bunch of mirrors. I think we should try and find some kind of rope or string to string ourselves together so we don't get separated.
Yeah, there are a lot of funhouse mirrors, many distorted mirrors. So you can gain advantage on stealth checks, but suffer disadvantage when detecting hidden threats. And this works you roll the best of two and pick the best or the worst of the two dice. So yeah.
So you remember where in the funhouse it is, right?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But I don't know where Arthur will be. He's somewhere in there. But maybe we can talk him down. Maybe, we can say...
did the net burn up? The net
yeah, of course it burned up, yeah. Like you threw a Molotov on it, so yeah.
It was not built to withstand 9 points of damage. Yeah,
literally improvised. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, the book's not... How close is the book to an exterior wall? There's not a second floor.
It's in the center of the funhouse.
Of course, it's in the center of the funhouse.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. It's now a backstage we can enter.
I didn't see that in the memory. The keeper just walked straight in and went straight to the center and then put it down there and told Arthur to guard it and then left.
What's Arthur like? What's his The good news is we haven't killed him yet.
Yeah, he was in his early 20s. He was just a lost kid, and he was infatuated with Elizabeth, Elizabeth led him on, and you got to
tell me something bad about him.
I mean, he did whatever he was told to do, including hurting people and stealing and intimidating people.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
So he's a bully's little toady.
He was a flunky of the cult of, the keeper.
Just say he was a bully's little toady. It will make it so much psychologically easier for me to hit him with a tire iron.
Okay, well, I'm just saying you might be able to talk him out of it by saying we can use it to save Elizabeth.
Oh. Are either of you good at talking people into things? Because I'm not what you would call really personable.
Yeah, we know.
See? Look at that. I killed your non-dead worst enemy.
I know.
Personal risk to myself. And you still think I'm just you're on the bubble. So I ain't talking anybody into shit, especially a brainwashed cult member. I mean, Hazel,
I'm getting better.
No, I meant him.
Oh, okay.
Hazel, you seem, like your job involves interfacing with the public. You can pretend to be pleasant, right?
Oh, I'm very good at pretending to be pleasant, yes.
Actually, yeah, your background, you could use your background for this. To give you advantage on the solidarity check.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So is this the plan, that we show up peacefully first? Hazel sweet talks the bully's little toady. Is there any way we can leverage his psychology of being a follower who feeds off the cruelty of others in order to make him more amenable to our play?
Well,
Thomas, you got anything with this?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you are on a clock because, these things will come back.
Yeah, we should
All right.
get moving.
Yeah.
I will, clap Hazel on the back. You got this. I believe in you.
All right. So, Hazel, tell us how you're walking into the funhouse. What is it like? What's your approach to Arthur?
I think I'm just trying to talk, right? I'm just trying to kind of appear like I'm a very pleasant person and somebody that is definitely trustworthy and somebody
drug dealer behavior.
Yeah, and somebody that he would like to give stuff and information to.
Yeah. In that case, you can
offer him the first hit for free.
If you use your background, you get advantage on a solidarity check. I will say it is, since you know his background and you know the angle to use, that is the DR is 12 instead of 14. Or you could just exhaust the point of solidarity and do it automatically.
I'm going to use my background and take the advantage, I think.
All right. So roll 2d20, pick the higher of the two. Need a 12 or better.
How is 18 plus 1 is 19.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So what's
good. Now he's fixated on you.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit. He's like, we can save Elizabeth and make sure she's okay. It's like, you're so kind. I can see it in your eyes. Can I? Yes, take the book. We're in the wrong here. Can I get a hug?
Sure, man.
Sure.
I'll go ahead and give him
All
one.
right.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm used to people asking for hugs, and it's awkward every fucking time.
I'm used to putting my arms around disgusting things.
It's like hugging hypothermia. This is excruciatingly painful. So you can give me a DR12 strength check to not take damage.
Oh,
12,
that's a 16.
Okay. You tough it out. You do not. You manage to resist his unnatural coldness. He is very, very non-dead, as Brent is saying.
He
But
is cold as ice, but Hazel
Yeah.
is colder.
Yeah. So you
Damn.
have the book, and let's see here. The book kind of flips open to itself, and you realize this is a copy of the original book. You just kind of instinctively know this. The book is putting information in your head.
Good.
Yeah, it's
Like an audiobook, but way worse.
yeah. There are two beings, one representing memory and one representing entropy and destruction. Stasis versus entropy is what it boils down to. The chronicler and Lethe. And Lethe, this flawed copy of the book, this imperfect copy, only has these two rituals. There are other rituals in the true copy, but that's elsewhere. That's buried under the rubble of Foxbrook. It's, you're just getting all this information that you don't want, Hazel, but you do know there.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, you can perform the Blessing of Lethe with a DR12 Solidarity check, and then exhaust one intelligence or one use of Cheat Fate. And you can target as many people as you want within sight. And people, the undead that have already been blessed and are channeling the energy of the chronicler, it will do bad things to them. But you can also bless humans with it, and they gain an advantage when fighting anyone, opposites. You're basically become like an anti-undead fighter with this. But there's a cost to it.
Just say Slayer.
Yeah, so you can do it now, or you can go. You do know, Arthur tells you that the keeper is in the cave. The cave.
Why is it always caves?
So Hazel, you have the book now. Do you want to wait till you go down in the cave to use it? And yeah.
God, I'm going to relay as much information as necessary to Thomas and Brent, and just say, so we can either give ourselves an advantage, or
Oh, you can do it multiple times. There's just a cost every time you do it.
there's just a cost every time. Yeah, and it just feels like a fairly large cost.
I'm going to look at Smith.
Look, we didn't use that one. I don't know what it does exactly, but Lethe destroys it. It's oblivion. It's entropy. That's why we worship the chronicler, to save us from Lethe.
How's that working out for you?
Well, that's why I'm helping you, okay? Because it didn't work out, but
therefore, logically, you should want to use this hoodoo on us to enslayerify us.
Okay, I sure. It'll
Right?
still, yeah, okay. So Arthur is like, I'm ready, please. I do not want to exist like this anymore. Unless, wait, do you think Elizabeth wants me to do that? Do you want me to do that, Hazel?
What if you help us fight them? You could be the good guy.
I
you
don't
make
know
a
if I
face
can
turn.
resist the keeper. I think the keeper would compel me to do it. I think he has control over me. if I'm in his
Okay, let's
presence.
just smoke him now then.
Yeah.
All right. So Millicent cast it this time, but she is clearly shaken. So you gain the blessing of Lethe. All of you lose a precious memory, and so gain one point of scars.
But I like my precious memories.
Well, what precious memory did you lose? That you kind of know that you've lost it. You don't remember the contents of it, but you know that you've lost it, which is probably more painful than just forgetting it altogether. Yeah. So, yeah, Brent, what did you forget?
The first night my high school baseball team really accepted me as one of the guys after I transferred in. I had to move in as a sophomore and, baseball, and I didn't know anybody in the new school because my parents had gotten divorced, so I was really lonely and went to the baseball team, and at first they were kind of standoffish, but after one night of, beer pong and Nintendo, I was one of the guys, and that was a great feeling. And
Yeah.
now Brent is just like 3% more lonely than he already was.
Oh, Hazel, what memory did you lose?
I had a best friend who I had a huge crush on him, and unfortunately, it was a one-sided sort of thing. He was very much not not into me. But there was one year when we were in high school that I had asked him to Sadie Hawkins, and he politely said no, but then kind of like wingmanned it up with this new guy that I hadn't met. And it turned out to be a really great relationship. And so my friend turned into my wingman, and it was lovely and it was wonderful. And all three of us were inseparable all through high school. And it was just one of those things that I would, I thought I could never forget. And obviously the feelings I had for him faded as they are wont to do when you're in high school. But yeah, it was just a nice core memory of
Shit, now the friendship's gone too.
Oh no!
I didn't say how big of a memory it was. Damn. Yeah, you're just like, yeah.
No, it's just the memory of how like my core friend group like got together and like the relationship that like ended up going nowhere, right? But like we were all still like inseparable and we were all really good. So just like the fun forming of.
So you
this
remember
really
like the middle
bond.
and the end part, but you just don't remember the beginning, and that's like really troubling. Like, how did we get together? Like what? Yeah. And then finally, Thomas, what memory do you lose?
Well, when I was little, we didn't have a lot of money, and I didn't have a dad, but my mum, did her best. And I think I was 6 or I was 7, and my birthday rolled around, and I knew things had been bad even at that age. But she gave me a rose bush, and I don't think she bought it, if you know what I mean. I think she acquired it, and it was fairly scraggly, but we worked on it together and we pruned it and we loved it. And I mean, we moved house a few years later. We moved apartments and it just got trashed, and I cried my heart out. But that working on her to shape this poor straggly bush into something of beauty and tenderness, that's gone now.
Jeez. Yeah, and these all that's left is a gap of knowing that a memory is gone and knowing it was precious to you.
Raise your hand if your character had a happy childhood. Nobody? Nobody?
No.
But you all, anytime you fight one of the cursed, you will start with 6 CD. So, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, shit.
And,
It's layerific.
And Arthur gains 3 vulnerable as well as being now permanently killable. So yeah.
So Arthur, you were suggesting we could ease your burden?
Arthur's beginning to realize maybe he made the wrong choice. So I'll let you, if you act swiftly, you can take the first action against him. But if you strike at him and don't kill him in one blow, he will fight back. Arthur's doesn't have a lot of self-control. He's not very disciplined. So,
but I start off with 6 goodies. I think I could do that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Could do precise hit and more damage, or you
precise hit and more damage sounds pretty great, actually. So kind of says this, and then there's this moment, and then just bam with the tire iron. That's a 2. It's a little 2.
So, well, you only inflicted 2 damage.
No, I rolled it. Oh wait, I didn't need to roll. Sorry, I automatically succeeded. Okay, yeah, no, all right. Damage, I did that and 2 damage, so it's 2d6
plus 3 because he has 3 vulnerable.
6, so that's 9.
9 is enough to destroy him. He is obliterated. So
bam.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of standing there, like, I mean, that was the right thing to do, right, gang? That was Jesus would approve, right? Because he was a icy abomination and against the will of God, right?
What part of you thinks that Jesus is here at all? Just
Millicent
That's moving me very much right now. Could you just be supportive for like 15 seconds, Hazel?
I hugged the guy. What more do you want from me?
I hugged him too. Oh, it was so cold and gross. It's like when antifreeze spills on you and the smell.
So you gather yourselves up after dealing with this.
Thing to do. It was the right thing to do.
Yeah,
it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, Brent keeps saying that.
Was that so hard?
Keep telling yourself that.
I will keep telling myself that because it's right and it's true and it's correct and it's only going to become more true, more correct, and more right as time goes on. You'll see. 5 years from now, we'll run into each other at like the grocery store or something, and you'll be like, "I've been thinking about it, Brent, and you were so right."
For listeners at home, James had to leave for it was very late in England when we were playing. So we just have the final scene up. So all of you head into the theater, and you can see Keeper Garrison is on the stage of the theater along with Elizabeth, and he is not very happy to see the four of you of there. Millicent, you have betrayed me. And he is not very happy about this. And so he is, all you have to do is use the Chronicler's breathing on me again, and I will be free from you, and I will be able to leave and do this, and I'll spare Elizabeth's life. And
eat a dick. I don't care about Elizabeth.
Okay. Well, we'll just head into combat. So, I will roll for James's character.
Sorry, it just came out.
No, it makes sense. He is going first, but Hazel
Thomas or the keeper.
Thomas is rolled to go first, and he got that. So yeah, but you two need to roll as well.
All right, that is a 4. I am not going first.
Okay.
9, so also not going first.
All right, and Thomas was armed with a sledgehammer, but you start this combat before he's in melee range. So I'm going to say Thomas is going to use the 6 CD because you start with 6 CD to, let's see here, auto defend because he knows he's going to get attacked, assist to give a nearby. Well, no, all of you have full initiative, so that doesn't actually. You know what? He is going to change initiative to allow Hazel to go after you. So that's 3. Then he'll take stunt to gain advantage on a take risk roll, and that leaves him with 1. Tough it out to reduce the damage by that. So, yeah. Actually, no, he's going to quick draw to put the sledgehammer back because he is rushing over to save Elizabeth from being thrown into the pit. So he gets.
I guess.
Yeah. So he saves Elizabeth and tags in Hazel to go after him. And he will be able to defend the first attack that goes after him. So, Hazel, you can go next.
Awesome. So, I would like to use the book.
Okay.
And
That will, let's see here, the ritual, the blessing. I need to organize this document a little better. There it is. It is a DR12 solidarity check.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Or you can exhaust 1 solidarity, just succeed.
Yeah, I think now's a good time to exhaust a solidarity to just automatically succeed.
The cost of this is exhaust 1 intelligence or 1 use of cheat fate.
I will use cheat fate.
All right. You're already blessed by it, but now he's blessed by it, so he gains 3 vulnerable, and if you kill him, he's permanently dead. So, yeah.
Amazing. Perfect.
And that, well, you haven't spent any of your CD yet, so you could do that to take additional actions. In fact, at 6 CD, you could take 2 actions.
Yeah, that is true.
Or you could take 1 extra action and do more damage. Or you could just...
Yeah. I think that's
you've got the
move.
Gun. You're our only ranged fighter.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do extra action and then more damage and see how that goes.
Okay.
So let's roll that extra action. Nope, that's a 7.
All right, your gun is empty there's no damage this round, so you miss. He is going to go, and he has CD as well, and he is going to use them. Unnatural speed. Actually, no, he is going to attack James, and he is going to. Actually, no, he's not going to spend any CD because you're all out of melee range. So he starts approaching. He lashes out at Thomas and he is going to inflict damage on that. So, but he has... Let's see here. So Thomas did have to tough it out, so he only winds up taking 2 damage. But he has to make a DR12 strength to avoid being stunned. Let's see here, and which he fails. So his attack stuns James's character. But Elizabeth is saved from being thrown into the pit. And yeah, that's a new round. Or no, Brent, you get to act finally.
Okay. So if I... Hold on. If I go for the auto defend, that succeeds the next time. Well, will that protect me next round?
It'll protect you until it cycles back to your initiative. So yeah, it'll last.
All right,
but that's your action. That takes an action. So like that would be, so you'd have to spend on an extra action to attack in this round. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I'd need to take an action to get to him anyway, right?
Oh, he's approaching. I would say you could move and hit him this round because he moved closer towards you.
Oh, I could move up and hit him? All right.
Yeah.
So I could do auto defend and precise hit.
Yeah.
No, I could?
Yeah.
All right. Let's auto defend and precise hit. So that takes all 6.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need to roll my dice, except for one little damage that's +3, right?
Mm-hmm. Plus your strength bonus.
Strength bonus? Should I be adding my strength? Should I have been adding my strength to damage this whole time?
I think I put it on there. Yeah, you should. I didn't put it on your character sheet.
So I rolled a 5. My strength is 2. That's 6, 7, and +3 is 10.
10. All right. So let's see here. You inflict 10 damage on him. Now, he ignores attacks of 10, 4 or less, but that was obviously a bit. So he is still... So basically, just to give you a little behind the scenes, he has 16 hit points. He ignores attacks of 4 HP or less and regenerates 4 HP a round. So
Damn.
He's still up, but he has taken a mighty hit. So, yeah.
I just hit him across the face, yelling, "I'm sick of this nerd shit!"
Yeah. So new round. Let's see here. Thomas is stunned, so he can't act. So Hazel.
So I am out of ammo. I guess
you do have another magazine. We did specify that you got another magazine from...
That's right, we did. Okay. Does it take an action to reload it?
It does take an action to reload it.
That's fine. I will do that.
Okay. So let's see here. He is going to attack, and he is going to attack Brent, obviously. But you auto defend, so you don't take any.
What does his attack look like?
It's a shadowy tendril that lashes out at you and seems to go like it went through. It hit Thomas, and he saw it. So a shadowy tendril comes out of his chest and just goes through you and kind of like just partially drains your life force out. Yeah.
Okay. Don't like that.
Nope.
But it missed.
And so you can go again.
All right. So let's see. I begin a turn in combat. That's 1 CD. Mm-hmm. And I survived an attack. So I'm at 2 pips.
Mm-hmm.
So I only got 2. What do I want to do with 2? I'm just going to go for more damage and see if I can hit him. And what I should actually do is reduce my strength, right? To auto... Or I could reduce my speed to auto hit him, right?
I was vulnerable 4 now, by the way, since you hit him. Yeah.
So I'm going to reduce my speed for that auto hit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
So, and then do more damage.
Actually, you'd have to reduce your strength because you're using strength. Yeah.
Is it worth it to do it?
I mean, this is the game. Yeah, this is the
end.
Risk reward, yeah.
All right, so I roll 2d6.
And +4, because he's vulnerable 4, and so whatever your strength bonus is now.
That's a 12.
12 is more than his current hit points, so yeah, you bash him, annihilating him with that hit. And yeah, with that, the other non-dead, the cursed, Lethe's cursed, are destroyed, and the curse ends. And so you're left in this cave theater in an abandoned theme park, wondering what happens next. But you have ended the nightmares that have been plaguing your characters. So we can narrate a brief epilogue of like what you do with the book, what you do with, or you do anything. You just get the fuck out and go home. Yeah. Hazel, what are you thinking?
Well, obviously, knowing that I don't have to worry about repaying the debt anymore is the only comfort that I have at the end of all of this. Cool, don't need to pay back the money. Also, this was horrible. This was horrifying. Literally the stuff of nightmares. My nightmares that I was actually having did not come close to this. I kind of just want to pass the book on and, let them have it. Let Millicent and Elizabeth have it.
Yeah, Elizabeth wants to do an
get the fuck
expose
out.
on the cult, and wants to explain what they were doing. And she doesn't know if people will believe this whole stuff about, the unnatural, weird, supernatural monsters, magic being real and that kind of thing. But she wants to tell as much of the truth as she can. So Elizabeth does want the book if you don't want it. So.
I don't. I definitely don't. So I will hand it over and just, ask them to be a little more careful with who gets their hand on the book in the future. And then if it's all the same, I'd like to just get the fuck out.
What about you, Brent?
Brent is like staring at the jack handle in his hand and is like, I think I found my purpose in life. I always wondered what I was supposed to do, but this feels right.
All right, yeah. Millicent and Elizabeth can tell you that there are some underground structures in Foxbrook that they're excavating now, but I don't know if what they're going to find down there. And so you can find out what else is going on with this Church of the Chronicler, and what other weird things are going on. So I
feel like fire is the cleanser.
Yeah. So
it's like, can I is there a faster way out of here now?
Yeah,
I took a day off. I'm going to take tomorrow off. Then I'm back at work. Like I'm
going to call in sick tomorrow because fuck today. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just seeing Hazel going, wow, I feel like I've really done a good thing for humankind, protecting it from this paranormal threat. And also, I don't have my debts, so I can upgrade into needle drugs.
Well,
I mean, that's where the money is, right?
No, it's in powder drugs. We all know.
You know what?
this.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has the money and what
Honestly,
kind of drugs do they like? It's definitely powder. Yeah, it's something.
Honestly, I would be shocked if she wasn't already dealing coke. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
But you can always expand your operations. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So nothing could go wrong with that.
She's like, now that I have the blessing of Leith, I'm gonna start moving more Rohypnol. It feels right.
Oh my god.
Terrible. So this is Labyrinth Signal.
Yeah, you clearly wanted her to be an evil character. That's why she never warmed to Brent, who is obviously the good one.
We're gonna come back and play the Labyrinth 2 Electric Boogaloo, and it's just gonna be fucking Brent versus Hazel.
Oh my god. Yeah. So thoughts on
the giant ending, we always knew it would come to this, Hazel.
Yeah, exactly.
I love you, but I must kill you. And Hazel's like, I know what?
Dude, love me why? We just met that one night.
I can't stand you. What?
Yeah.
You're gross and your clothes are really bad.
It's not for me. Not for me.
I always thought I had a sort of Bruce Springsteen-like blue-collar charm. Well, you don't!
We end on that.
Yeah.
But any thoughts on the scenario and, of course, the system, since this is the
scenario is pretty straightforward. I mean, this seems to know where it's going and, what it wants to do. And it's a little... how do I put this? It's... like a sonnet is super structured, but the structure is part of it. Mm-hmm. That if it's free verse, it's not a sonnet. And this is very much, hits a lot of horror tropes. The abandoned amusement park, the final showdown in the cave. It's got like It has a little Scooby-Doo nod in the DNA, I feel. And when you people at home, when you see the maps, I mean, this prospector really does look like Captain Crunch's crackhead cousin.
Oh yeah.
You see it, V. It's not just me, right?
No, well, now that you said that with the hat and everything, like, oh my god.
Yeah. I was obviously influenced by like survival horror in particular. Last year I played a game called Crow Country, which is set in an abandoned amusement park and a survival horror game, so that was an influence. Also, I went to there's an actual theme park in Colorado that this is inspired by, which is you start at the base of this hill and you take a gondola up there, and it's very old-timey Western mining kind of themed.
Yeah, man, I've been in those mountain gondolas, and yeah, they can be very scary.
Yeah.
Especially if you're old enough and mature enough to realize that death is actually a thing that can happen to you. I went up in one when I was a kid, and I thought it was great. But now that I'm, like, mature, I'm like, no. Now I can see why the adults in the gondola seemed less enthusiastic than me.
Oh. But any thoughts on the system?
I think the system...
It's super, super fun. Just flat out, I had a really good time with this. I really liked the combat point system. I thought building that up and kind of like accruing the ability to like do cool shit felt really, really good.
What did you think about just calling it juice?
That's not really a survival horror thing. Like, I mean, yeah, that's something I have to think on. But like, juice is a little too
build up your awesome.
Yeah, I mean, in there are fighting games literally called combo meters where you can do that. But yeah, sorry.
Oh my god, build up your awesome, booyah for short.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I want to be thematic to horror.
No, for sure.
Yeah, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I had a blast with it. I like when opening it up, I was like, okay, I kind of, yeah, no, cool. This makes sense. And then as we started playing, I was like, nope, this feels really, really good. Like it made combat, like even when you failed, you were like, shucks, okay, well that's all right because I know that I can like I can recover from this.
Point.
Yeah, and like it never like I don't know. I hit maybe 2 or 3 times, but it never felt punishing to not do something because you were still being given the ability to like fail forward in a way by turning that into like momentum essentially to keep doing more cool shit. And I just thought I had a blast with this. This was a super, super fun system.
I liked the system. I noticed that I was only doing like the power moves. I'm like, there's one column here that gets the heavy rotation, and that's auto hit more damage, auto hit more damage. The fact that, I mean, that an interesting way to do it would have everything cost an even number, but I don't know. The fact that there were no cost 3 things was. I had
that in a previous playtest, and I took that out because then people could pick 2-3 things that were like, I had the auto hit at 3, and then people would just auto hit extra attack, and that was too good. So I specifically wanted it to like, you couldn't pick the best things from each thing. You had to dive deep into one or the other. So yeah.
It might be that like it. I mean, obviously it would be impactful, but like, you know, you can only do like one combo, one of each, unless it specifies each time. But maybe it's worth trying if you can like limit it to like, you can only pick one from each stat per combo
category.
So like, yeah, so like you can't do like automatically succeed and then increase damage or stronger attack, right? You can pick automatically succeed, but then you have to do something from speed, defense, or utility if you want to go that route.
Like I'm thinking about maybe adding like a worse auto hit on an attack, but like that, like at 1 CD even, you auto hit an attack, but you can't do. It limits you in some other way or gives you a disadvantage in some. I mean, like a reckless attack.
The thought that comes up, is auto hit minimum damage, where it's like you will auto hit, but it will only increase their vulnerability. It can't kill them.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Oh, that is good.
Auto hit minimum damage. There we go. There we go.
Now people,
Oh my God, it's
people
almost
at
like you're
home,
a
now
writer,
you see why
Greg.
Ross
Jeez.
keeps me around.
Yeah.
Man, you should get in this game design thing. I think it'd be good.
Have you ever considered it, Greg?
I'll have the auto hit with
But I have
minimum
a
damage
family
at
to
the
support.
one CD. That's a really good. Yeah, at the one
Yeah,
CD
I like
pad.
that one a lot. Yeah.
Like the speed thing and taking multiple actions.
I might
put
make
them in
that
there.
one too, because otherwise people are just going to be like, all right, we're going to just ping, 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 ping,
Yeah.
slam. And you don't want it to have it be such a clear optimum thing.
Yeah.
I put it at 2. But yeah, fool around with it.
Yeah, I'll maybe at 2. I'll have to look at it, but I'll definitely add it in as a low option. But like different enemies would have different thresholds and strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was sticking with basically one enemy type most of the game, except for the boss. And I'll put in more enemy like.
This does have the action horror feel like Buffy. I felt it was a very Buffy-esque vibe as opposed to like a Caleb design where it's like everything you do will grind you down. This ratchet only moves one way. This was more like Zombieland.
Yeah, Zombieland, or like I don't know if you played Alan Wake.
I have not. I've heard it's great.
Yeah, it's great. You're like a horror writer, but you're going around the dark with a flare gun and a flashlight and shooting shadow zombies and things like that, or shadow monsters, and you're just destroying horror. Or Resident Evil, or any of these survival horror games. Even Silent Hill has you fighting a lot of monsters, and that's it, like Delta Green has combat in it, but Delta Green and Call of Cthulhu are primarily mystery solving games, and this is like one game where like it's combat. You're going through these places and fighting or avoiding monsters. And the main thing for me was like your characters want to feel, fragile without being like tissue paper.
They want to feel fragile without actually being fragile.
Yeah, well, like with the cheat fate thing, like I ran a playtest previously where players were getting hit with supernatural abilities. They were just burning off cheat fate instead of exhausting attributes because they didn't want to lower their attributes at all. And so like different players have sort of different, like the cheat fate thing is very much like you have a handful of hit points, but like you don't get hit that often because of that. So
when you do, it's
sorry.
So it's an interesting blend, and it's got a bunch of levers and tactics. It feels very tactical without requiring actual minis and
it's definitely theater of the mind. I know for a campaign, like ideally I want to use these rules to create a modern day mega dungeon campaign setting, which I've written the flavor up a bit, but like character progression advancement, like there is an experience system which you could read in the Google Doc, but like the character advancement also comes through items. Like you would find cursed or haunted items that have unnatural properties that would give you a bonus. Like I haven't fully set it up, but like I have an idea for like cursed flare gun called the Unquenchable Fire that when it shoots flares are like a rocket, but you can't. It heats the room up. It heats you up, and if you fire too many, you burst into fire, and you just or literal haunted items that are haunted by ghosts, and you have to placate like a lucky whiskey flask of a soldier who died in war, and it will stop bullets. It'll take attacks for you, but you have to help the ghost of the soldier, or he'll be really angry at you, which is not really good when you're carrying it around. So that's. Because, like, I want characters to feel like they can deal with more difficult problems and progress, but I don't want them to feel like D&D characters where they're, like, superheroes at the highest. So that's a tricky balance, but, that's the goal. But
it is. Everything has to be like a Palantir. At the, okay, you want the power? Sure, there's plenty of power. We can give you all the power you want, buddy. It'll cost you, but don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You've got plenty to give. All right. Well, I'm going to turn this off. And
well, thank you all. Yeah, thanks for all of you listening. Thank you, too, for playing.
I made this. I honestly spaced on that we'd scheduled this. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad you made it, too. It was a really fun game. If there's anything else you want to plug before we go, Greg, aside from
not just yet. I mean, if people want to go to gregstolze.com and sign up for the monthly subscription, I would advise that. It's, you get good stories and it's good stuff.
Great.
Good stuff.
Great. And we already talked about your stuff, but I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. I'll stop recording. And yeah, good game. Of course, we did have a break. And